Welcome to another episode of the Good Keyboard Friends podcast. This is something that I sprung on some people very late notice, but they're absolute gems to have said yes. James and Tangus are recovering from the Denmark meetup, so naturally they could not make it today. I wasn't sure if Simon would be able to make it either because he had things going on in real life. So I recruited two Good Keyboard Friends to be guest co-hosts. One is Zambu, aka Zambumon, and one is Cipulot, aka Cip, who we'll have on next episode. But and then guess who showed up? Mr. Simon, or Miss Simon, according to your label on Riverside.
Wait, it didn't ask me. It just assumed my gender. It assumed incorrectly. I mean, it was a 50. I mean, come on.
Today, as our esteemed guest, we have the great Janglad here. So welcome, Janglad.
Hello, happy to be here.
This is like an all-star cast. I was talking with Cip earlier how it's just amazing how nice all of you are, not only to get on, but to do it at a moment's notice. So we truly appreciate you, Cip. We truly appreciate you, Zambumon.
And we truly appreciate you, Simon, because you've been running around all weekend at a family event and looked at your phone 7 minutes ago and was like, "Yep, I'll join," even though like I can barely like sit up right now.
Oh, can you just to get things started? What have you been up to? What is this family thing? Without doxing yourself, obviously. What have you been doing?
I haven't had the opportunity to meet the entirety of Kate's family up until this weekend, where everybody drove in / flew in from all over the place. It's been big. There's like 20 people here. Kids were here. We had a bouncy house. We drank many alcohols. Yeah, like immediately after this, like I'm gonna need to head out and like go find beers because somehow we drank. I don't understand how we drank so many beers. It's just gone. We bought like packs and packs of beers, and like by midday yesterday they were just gone. Off to a great start.
How are you? Again, I don't want to dox you. How are you feeling, like in general? I know you had a slight niggle here and there.
I'm currently in the process of seeing somebody about my back. I don't know how worried I should be, but I am slightly worried.
As I offered to you last episode, you can have my hands. You can take Zamb's feet. Cip, you can have Cip's legs, and Janglad's brain. If we have to rebuild you like the $1 Million Man.
Deal. I see no problem with any of that. I'll take all of those parts. Those are great. Those are all upgrades. Thank you. Every single.
Does that mean I have to like? Do I just lose my brain or do I swap with Simon's?
Oh no! God!
Right?
Well, no, you would become me. I just would cease to exist because if I put my brain into your head, I don't think your body would make it more than like 5 to 10 minutes. Your body would just kind of give up and be like, "Nah, bro, I'm just gonna lie down on my face in this puddle and drown myself."
I know Janglad from a distance. I haven't had the opportunity or the privilege to interact with him personally, except for a few recent messages. But obviously, Simon, Zambu, Cip, you all know Janglad.
Of course,
I know Janglad from. Okay, I'm gonna butcher it. I'm sorry if I butcher it. Coda Studio.
Yeah.
It's just Coda.
Yes,
Coda. And he has ran some of my favorite sets. Sets in general, Vaporwave, round 2 or wave 2.
Round 2, yeah. Didn't design that. That was the designer left the hobby and asked me to continue on it.
Many such cases.
Yeah.
I'll ask about that later. But also Minimal, Modern Dolch, and something that I recently picked up.
Nice.
Oh, you got 6006? Why are you holding it upside down?
Got him, you Simon.
If I'm not mistaken, like is my set of 9009 a Janglad one? It might be. Because like I don't have the original 9009. I had like I guess it was like round 2 or round 3, the GMK version. That must have been you.
I assume you don't have the one with the centered legends, right?
There's one with centered legends?
Well, yeah, with like centered shift and arrow and whatever.
Oh, that's a good question. I honestly don't know where it is. My room is not good. I walked in here. There was a stack of keyboards there, by the way. All of them have fallen over and are all over the floor. This place is in shambles. I'm gonna need like I don't know, like a small little bulldozer to just like move everything all over the place.
That's not a bulldozer. That's a crane.
That's a crane. Yeah.
No, like with the chomp. I want the one with the chomp as well as the shove.
Okay, but that's an excavator. That's not a bulldozer.
That's what. Okay, yeah, that's what I want. I want an excavator. Sorry.
We can do heavy machinery friends podcast.
I mean, I would love to learn how to operate an excavator. I feel like that's a skill that might be really helpful in the future. Just in case, you know.
How about a forklift license?
See, the arrangement I have with Kate is that she needs to get forklift certified. I'll just do the excavator. Don't worry about it. The forklift is to get me in and out of the excavator.
Forward thinking.
Oh my god. There you go. Yeah.
No
but Janglad
comments.
has also designed keyboards. Some are just proof of concept. Some are actual things. Like my friend who just recently got into the hobby, he wanted an Apple 0110. And guess whose board I sent him to look at? Janglad's modern M0110. But
that's a while ago, damn.
Yeah.
That board.
I mean, all your boards were a while ago. Like, I'm thinking of them like, oh wow.
Yeah.
And that was like the last one I remember is right when you rebranded to Coda and then like slowly disappeared out of the hobby. Not out of the hobby, but out of the community. And we're just like, surely he's alive, right? It's fine. Like Apple stock is going up. He must be alive. He's buying all the Apple products. Janglad, how many Apple products do you own?
I mean, it's pretty okay, just casual, you know? Like, I do have the AirPods, and then iPhone, MacBook, and that's it, I think.
Sure?
Yeah, no sure? Apple Watch, no iPad.
You don't have, like, an iPad? You don't have another Mac?
I have my old Mac, but I gave it to my girlfriend.
Okay.
But, like...
Okay. But the real question is, do you own a non-Apple computer?
Only old ones from family members I keep around if I need, like, something x86.
Yeah, I had a
feeling. But nothing I use on the daily.
Okay. I mean, fair enough. I know you've got the
a bit of an Apple. I mean, definitely back then. It was just harder back then. You had to like defend yourself more, right? Because it was like the real shitty MacBook Pro generation with like the touch bar and the overheating and shit.
Oh yeah.
So you had to come up with the stupidest excuses of why you actually liked it. Whereas now they're actually pretty solid products. So
most of them are, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. iPhones for me, I mean, peaked at the iPhone 13 mini and then they stopped fucking making the mini.
Yes.
I have a 12 mini. I also have not upgraded for the same reason. Yeah.
And like my battery is starting to get cooked and I'm so upset that I don't even want to take it to the Apple store to get the battery replaced. I'm going to do it myself, even though it's going to give me warnings for 4 years. I don't care.
Yeah.
Just out of spite. But like I have an iPad, I have a Mac mini, and I think that's all I've got. But like, hey, they're fine.
I'm also in the Mac Mini M1 trying. It's the well, I have two computers. One is the PC because you still need a PC to run a lot of the
QMK toolbox.
No,
to do work.
Why would you need the QMK toolbox? No, you need unless you use a virtual machine or I guess you could do Proton and use Proton and use Fusion 360 under that. You need you kind of need a Windows machine or a Mac machine to run Fusion 360 and some other softwares.
Is Fusion any better on a Mac? Because it's dog shit on a PC.
It's dog shit.
It's
even worse.
It's
even worse than on Windows. Yeah.
I have never in my life opened up an app and just watched it struggle so hard and then opened up Task Manager and seen my 64 threads and there's like one thread that's struggling.
Yeah.
Like, great job.
Yeah, but
great
job. Is a very single-threaded process, right? Like everything in CAD.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it shouldn't be.
It's like I'm going to say that okay, compared to my other machine, Fusion runs worse, but not much worse. It requires. There's something poetic about Fusion punishing where you do things wrong. Like when you
how dare you not save every 15 milliseconds?
No. It's Fusion is very unhappy when you run a very long timeline unconstrained things, tons of sketches, tons of operations, extrusions. You don't use subcomponents. Like if you do everything inside a main body and then you don't create components, Fusion 360 starts shitting itself and having issues. Even on my other machine, that it's an AMD whatever was not the Threadripper, because it doesn't matter using a Threadripper for Fusion. It was the top of the line at when I bought it, and I have a 3090 in there. It depends. It heavily depends on how you design and how you keep the components organized. But it is true that there's some graphic glitches with Fusion on Mac, and yeah, you just need to be very careful with how you design. It just punishes way more, and it has some. It needs to be further developed or whatever, because yeah, it's not. Anyways, with Fusion, what Autodesk should do is just have a Linux release, because that way I can ditch Windows on my other machine, and I can still run everything that I need, like Blender, KiCad. There's everything works except Fusion 360, and I don't want to use Onshape because it's web based, and I don't like. I have tested it, and no.
I mean, here's my real question, because like pretty much everybody here, maybe Hubert excluded, I'm not sure, but we'll find out. But like, we fucked around with Linux a little bit, right?
Oh yeah,
right.
Yeah.
And like I have two laptops. I have like my work laptop for like, you know, the work where I'm not the boss of my own work, which is a Windows laptop. But then I have a framework laptop running Linux. Most of my servers run Linux. My desktop, I don't run Linux, but like it's over like the last 2-3 years, it's kind of gotten to the point where I'm like, I should just go Linux, dude, because like
not just the last 3 years. It's just the last 8 years or so.
I mean, I've been on Windows 10 LTSC, which is supported until like 2034, 2033 or something. But like some games require you to be up to like the latest Windows 11 version. And I did that on my laptop and I hate it so much. I don't understand how they fucked it up so much. Like it's to the point where I'm just like, okay, what applications do I still use on Windows? You know, I use spreadsheet shit. I and like document stuff. There's plenty of like open source stuff. I use Photoshop, and like I can run Photoshop online.
You can
other like
you can even ditch Photoshop and start using Photopea, which is web based. And the last time I talked with someone about it was Piqual saying me, oh, I have ditched everything Adobe and I'm using Photopea to do the textures or to work on the textures. And it's I think maybe you can probably self-host Photopea. Maybe then I don't know.
If you can, I'll consider it.
Yeah.
Do you know what though? I'm glad you pronounced it that way. I always thought it was Photopea, like the vegetable. Is it Photopea?
I don't know if it's Photopea or Photopea.
Hey, I'll call it Pea because
it's Photopea. It's Photopea.
God damn it! I fucked up again.
Just yet another application that can be said PP.
God. Well, I want to ask before I ask Janglad about how he got into the hobby and how he started designing. Sip, do you have any Apple products?
Actually, I do more than I wish I had. Actually, so I have an iPhone. Main reason is that back in the day, when you upload pictures directly from Instagram,
correct,
in the app, like everything else was dog garbage, like pixelated, color shifted. It was unusable. So I bought a iPhone 13, I guess it was at the time, super cheap. Then I upgraded to the 15, and I gave my 13 to my mother. For the laptop, at this point, I have 2 MacBooks, simply because Japan, man, the prices in Japan were too good.
Yeah, but it's still a MacBook. So like, if you want more RAM, fuck you. If you want more storage, fuck you.
Yeah,
if you want to repair something, fuck you.
Yeah. That's why you get it maxed out from the beginning, man.
Well, yeah, but that's what they want, dude.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. I mean, it's just because I know, but it's just because it's not because of the OS, although I like that I can use terminal in a sensible way compared
do you
to
mean?
Windows. Compared to Windows, like I lived through the
PowerShell is fine. I don't use it, but PowerShell is
yeah,
fine.
it's
I've
fine.
never opened a PowerShell and typed in SSH root at something. I always open up
Yeah.
like something specific for that. But you're right. It's nice having terminal, but I
Yeah.
prefer having terminal on Linux than having terminal on Mac because
Oh yeah, 100%.
you have actual Linux commands as opposed to we don't like you doing that, sir.
Yeah, exactly. So I just like the fact that I have a little bit of Linux like experience.
That's fair enough.
And the hardware, like the physical chassis of the laptop, I like it simply because it's unibody. That's the only thing that I care about. If there was a way to install Windows or any other OS on this MacBook, I would do it immediately.
Why don't you?
I mean, you can
So-
dual boot with Parallels. If I'm not
No,
mistaken,
no.
still.
Do you?
not on new
Do you have?
ones,
Do you
yeah.
have a Silicon, an Apple Silicon MacBook?
Yeah, I'm serious. Yeah,
Have you tested Asahi Linux?
need to test it. But when I looked into it, there
Okay,
was
nice
like
try, Hubert. I was
a
fixing
bunch of
the
stuff
focus, and it worked.
that was not supported at the time. So I was like, do I want to test it right now? Right now, I could probably do it because now I have two machines, so
Yeah.
I can like butcher one of them.
Yes.
But yeah, Parallels, it's good in some ways, but because it's using M Silicon on like the native hardware, you
Have
must
they
run
not
Windows
gotten
ARM.
Rosetta like running that well?
Yeah.
Because
That's
it's
just
been
like
years.
it's like using a container for.
Yeah,
But
it's
back in the day, I
it's
used
not
to
that
properly
great.
dual boot. I'd have Parallels like within my this is way back. This is when the Mac Pro was an actual computer where you could take out the PCI cards and
Oh,
swap
yeah.
the memory, and it was great because I was able to like get like a cheap Mac Pro off eBay, and then off eBay I went and got the bitchin' Xeon processors and as much RAM. It was super
Yeah.
cheap, and I got it all running myself. I had 128 gigs of RAM. This was in like 2015 because it was so fucking cheap,
Mhm.
and I would run dual boot, but even within Mac itself, I would have Parallels running Windows, and I think I had something else running Linux. So I was running all three major OSs at the same time. It was great. That was the end of Apple being great. The second they were just like, no, you cannot like make changes to your devices. The moment I'm just like, yeah, let's
Yeah.
buy something
Well,
else.
About, I'm guessing like 12 years ago when they start poaching engineers and everything. It's not poaching, but they started the Silicon division, and they said, okay, we're going to
Yeah.
ditch Intel. We're going to develop our own thing, which was a good call. They have just made like a single chip that has the GPU and CPU memory shared, which is great for many things.
Oh,
And-
it's terrible when you buy an entry-level Mac Mini with 8 gigs of RAM, and you're like, oh, it's 8
Yeah.
gigs of RAM. That's going to be enough to like open YouTube.
Nope.
No, man.
I mean, it's
don't
no
worry
longer
about
8
it.
gigs, right?
It's
because of the
16.
wonders of Apple Intelligence.
It's 16
Yeah.
now.
Yeah,
it's
but-
magic. Apple magic.
But the what I'm getting here is that those devices are incredibly power efficient compared to having a
Yes.
1,000 watts machine under your desk to watch YouTube videos.
Yep. No, you're right.
And
I
that-
specifically got it because of its efficiency. It idles at 7 watts,
Exactly.
3 to 7 watts, depending on the power state.
So
and
if-
I love that.
If you want a cheap server machine, it's not going to be that cheap. But
Oh no, just get like a little mini PC if you want to serve it.
Yeah.
So I have like 3 mini PCs here that are being used. to serve.
nowadays there's many mini Intel Nooks. Well, Nook as a brand is no longer a thing, but there's many mini PCs that are very incredibly power efficient, and the Mac Minis are very power efficient. They are small, and they perform pretty well. But yeah, I was thinking the problem is always upgradability, and this is why at most what you can do is get a third party SSD on some machines, on
Yeah.
the Mac Minis and the Mac Studio, which
Yeah, you can upgrade,
but not really.
but not really. Yeah.
It's not.
Like I think the most you can actually do, like if you go to the extremes, is like go to one of those like repair shops that actually like disorder the actual
NAND.
like NAND chips and all
You
that.
can buy those kits now.
You can buy those
kits
kits.
that are pre-placed on PCBs and pre-flashed, so you can like upgrade it to 2 terabytes. The issue is you're stuck with the amount of RAM that you initially got, and that's the real upgrade, because it's got like Thunderbolt like 5. So like in terms of like storage, you can get a big drive and just plug it in. It's going to be just as fast. So it doesn't solve the problem. The problem is we need more WAM.
The problem, it's also like you have to think that most people don't upgrade RAM or swap components in the life of their laptops.
Well,
It's also a reality, but
in our community, we're all nerds. We're all relatively techie. Even the people that are not super techie are relatively techie, and I'm sure like all of us have fucked around trying to upgrade something, especially WAM, you know. But the average person, has kind of been, led down the path of, I don't know, modern capitalism, where you will own nothing, you will rent everything, you will have no rights to your own devices, and if it stops working, throw it in the garbage and pay us $3,000 again.
Just buy the new one.
that is the issue right there.
I
like to fix my shit.
Yeah, I like to self-host as many things as possible, even if it's a paid service. Like for instance, for audio, I use a program that is called Room, and it's expensive. It's good, but it's expensive. So I said, okay, I bought like a lifetime license about 3 or 4 years ago, and it was €700, and it was like, I'm going to use this program for 5 years. They're going to exist as a company for the next 5 years. I'm going to buy it, and I have an Intel NUC running Proxmox. Inside Proxmox, there's my Room Nucleus server, and there I have all my music, all my legally copies of my own CDs, and then I have Cobus and Tidal. Well, I don't have a Tidal account. My girlfriend has a Tidal account, so I use her Tidal account and my Cobus account. And yeah, that's how I keep everything local. And
so long term, by the way, Zamb, if you ever need to ditch Rune, Music Assistant as part of Home Assistant is quite powerful. So it'll allow you to basically link into most everything, like all the like streaming devices I was able to use in Music Assistant.
Yeah, the problem is
and
that
it's the same thing.
I am very, very happy with Room. Like
Rune is great.
It's a great
Rune
product.
Is the best. It's just like I would never pay that kind of money.
No, if at some point in the next 6 years or 5 years, I end up unhappy with it, the best part is that I have already all my library of music organized, labeled, with the covers. Perfect. It's just that the Room app and what it does, like the signal processing and whatever, and the streaming within my own house and my own devices, it's fantastic. I really like it.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And yeah,
it's what the big boys use. The people that have like $20,000-$30,000 audio setups, they use Rune.
Yeah, instead I have like the usual Simon recommended setup, which is an ADI Arami ADI DAC, whatever amplifier you can get, and some CMF headphones. That's the classic Simon setup.
Wait, I just unplugged my. There it is.
Yes. That device.
For the record, this is no longer being used. I'm plugged directly into the audio interface now, so
that device.
I don't know what to do with this.
That device is fantastic. It's expensive, but it will be probably for most people, it will be the only DAC that you will need in your lifetime.
DAC/amp you will ever need in your lifetime. Yeah. Because it'll do headphones, it'll do IEMs, and it'll do speakers out the back, like cleanly, flawlessly. And their IEM output is real good, too.
I need to find a manual, but it comes with a manual that is this thick.
Yep.
With all the options. And yeah, you just need to configure Windows.
You can do anything.
Yes.
You can do anything you want. If like...
You can upsample to 700, 900, 792.
It'll do DSD.
Yeah.
It'll do like really, really advanced equalizer stuff that like other stuff doesn't do. For example, like you can compensate for a headphone where one driver is not like correct compared to the other, and you can do the corrections in your amplifier, which is so cool. I have used none of those features. but it's really cool.
It comes with a very large manual that you need to read. You need to at least see it because it has many
Go
menus.
through.
It's very complete. It's a fantastic product.
I do not regret spending the $900 on this,
I
even though I don't use it.
I will tell you, when I bought all the setup and I grabbed these cheap headphones and I grabbed my big boy setup and I grabbed some IEMs, and it's like, I can hear subtle differences. It's like going from high resolution to an even higher resolution and a little bit more contrast on a TV screen. You can hear a little bit the difference, but it's just a fantastic experience, but not really worth it unless you want to spend a lot of money. But
I got my first pair of like nice headphones recently, like Hi-Fi Man Edition XS or whatever.
Okay.
Like I think they're like planar magnetic or whatever. Never use them, honestly. I still always use this because the band on it just sucks so
Oh.
bad. Every tiny head movement you make, it just squeaks like
Oh.
loudly into your ear to the point of it like, yeah.
So hi-fi
Y-
men are very well known for having very good drivers and terrible build quality for everything else. And then Odyssey is known for having incredible build quality and drivers that will burn out real fast. And they'll repair them for you. But the issue is like over the course of 3-4 years, you'll send in your headphones 3-4 times. Not all the time,
Right.
but like on the super high-end models, we're talking like $2,000 plus. So the secret is to say fuck it and just use AirPods.
Well, there you go. Exactly. But yeah, they do sound really nice, but just because of that. And I tried like lubing the band or whatever.
No,
and
they're real hard. Like honestly, like if you can try and sell them to somebody and like pick up like, I can give you a list of like decent things that are going, because comfort is first for me. If you're going to put a device on your head, the most important thing people are going to say is the sound. No, the most important thing is it needs to go on your head. If it's as heavy as an ox and feels like bricks on your ears, it doesn't matter how good it sounds, right? So comfort first, and that's like comfort over your head. Second is listening comfort, because some headphones will just be really, really aggressive, and like your ears will get fatigued after listening to just any music for like 10-15 minutes, and then you got to take them off, take a break. You get nice headphones, you can go 8-10 hours with them on your head listening to music for 8-10 hours. And are they the most perfect headphones with perfect sound reproduction? No.
But yeah,
But they're
exactly.
better
'Cause
in every other way.
I also have like some what is it, like AKG K702s or whatever. It's also like a really popular pair. Yeah, but those, I mean, they sound way worse than the Hi-Fi ones, but they're insanely comfortable to me, at least. I can wear them for like all day and not notice at all. So yeah, I end up using, if anything, those more than the better sounding ones for those exact reasons.
if my headphones, my ZMFs, I bought them from a small store that distributes them in Europe, and they are based in Amsterdam, and sometimes they do listening sessions. So when you're buying an expensive pair of headphones, many stores allow to have like a 30-day trial and return them with no questions.
That's really nice if you live in a place that has like an audio shop.
Yeah, or you can try to go there in person and test them. I think that they were in Amsterdam. Like, it depends. Obviously, if you live near a large population center or metropolitan area, sometimes you can find those stores that do offer listening experiences or whatever, and they can. Yeah, because as Simon said, the most important part is that they have to be comfortable. When I bought the CMFs, I bought them blind, kind of like, okay, either they're going to fit well in me, or they're going to fit well in me, because I'm not going to, like, I want this. And they were very comfortable for me. So
Oh, you're lucky. My ZMF, like comfort wise, I can't wear them for more than like an hour or two.
yeah,
It depends on like your head shape. It depends on like what's comfortable for you. Like everyone's different.
how do you want them to sit? How the pads that
Exactly.
you're using? Yeah.
So like for me, my ZMF Aeolus just puts pressure at like this spot in my head real hard, like right at the center.
Oh,
Like all the weight goes there, which is weird because like it should wrap around. And I tried messing with it, and it's just too harsh right there. And eventually, like it'll hurt your scalp.
for me, it's like after 6 hours or more wearing them, which is way more than what I'm going to wear them usually. I start having some discomfort in the back of the ear, and yeah, that's the only complaint. So I'm like, okay, most of the time when I'm going to listen music, I'm not going to have any issues.
All right, Janglad. This is a good keyboard friends podcast, not a good audio friends podcast. So here's oh shit, is that Hubert? Oh wow. Okay,
Same
so
brain. Same brain.
Oh no, Hubert just said let's segue into how Janglad got into keyboard designing when we can. So here's my question. Janglad, I know you were super into keyboards and I know you've backed off.
Yes.
And as you backed off, you got super into cars and racing.
Cars and racing?
Did you not? Or has Paul been lying to me?
Shit. You got debated by Paul, man.
No, I was super into cars when I was like 12, but wasn't into keyboards before that. No, not really, no.
Wait. Okay, so what rabbit hole have you fallen into? Because people don't just like casually leave keyboards. They casually fall into a big hole that's even worse.
Web development, in this case.
Okay.
So,
Okay, that explains it.
yeah.
Could be worse. Web development for you, web development for fun, web development for education, what?
So it started out kind of as a thing of I have to do something. And then I was just like, I'll go do that. Because I'd done like a little bit of it before. I was like, I think I'll be pretty good at this. And yeah, I'm now doing it professionally and really quite like it. Also, in my free time, most of what I do still is coding. So it's been a good pick.
So you're a big nerd. Got it.
Yeah.
We're all big nerds.
We're
Aren't we
all
all?
big nerds.
We are all huge nerds. Okay, let's actually segue into keyboards using keyboard check. Keyboard check. Everyone, keyboard check. Let's
Keyboard check.
Yep. I have a 21XX in like the gold whatever color. Solenoid is on, of course.
Nice.
Hubert, what did you have? Let me see.
Oh, just the newest. It's been a
the
couple
KV
months.
hybrid.
Yeah.
I'm going to silence myself for a
Nice.
second. I'm going
Okay.
to dust the keyboard.
Sip,
Okay.
what do you got?
Oh, I have as well an HHKB.
Is that BKE caps? Is that proper BKE?
This is BKE caps and BKE domes.
Nice.
Beautiful. Janglad, what you got?
I forgot what I called it. I think just Simple 60 or something. It's a board I randomly got a few made of like ages ago.
Does it
it's
have a
all I
USB
basically-
port?
It has a USB Type-C port.
Fantastic.
Nice.
One of the
Yeah.
greatest HHKBs I've ever seen.
Praxis injection molded with a Valor Rev, whatever. I got Eric from the Keyboard Treehouse boards sometimes sends me stuff, and they just have this, and it has a Latralium keycap in here. That, yeah,
I
it's
didn't realize there was an injection molded prox. Oh no, I do. It was cheap. It was like $150 or something. It was like really, really cheap.
well, for me it was $0 because it
Well,
was sent.
Nice flex, man.
it was sent with sometimes they send me Davies and
Zamb, you may not know this, but everything is $0 as long as you don't give it back.
No. In this case, they sent me the keyboard. And it was like, what do you think about it? And like, this is lit. This is a fantastic keyboard, and I just have been using it for the longest. I have like an actual Praxis back there, and I just use this one because it's already built, and I'm lazy to build anything
So
else.
you're more of a Praxis enjoyer than an Alice enjoyer, because the body shape is a little different, but the layout is identical,
The
right?
layout is identical. I'm a big fan of actually usable ergonomic keyboards, such as the TGR Alice and the Praxis, and I actually made like a stack acrylic keyboard that we ran a group by that we called Brigante back then.
I remember that. Yeah.
It was and then the other keyboard that I have been using, shameless plug.
Nice.
What is that?
That's hard. I disassembled it because it was gross, like really gross.
There was probably like a 5 millimeter plate or something in it.
No, it was gross of 5 years of four and something years of use. Like the keycaps were gross, the plate was gross, the inside of the case was gross, and I just clean everything because I should do I should do a build video about it, just so people see how it's.
Are you still committed to just like the bonkers like finger breaking plates? Because
Yes.
you've done that and Janglad's done that. Like, why do you guys do this, Janglad? What's with you?
I
And
mean,
do you hate your fingertips?
so first of all, I recently used like the Kira TKL. I have like a prototype of that from way back in the day, which also has a brass plate, which like brass plate 1.5 millimeter or 4.7 or whatever. It doesn't matter that much flex wise. It does, but I kind of like it. I do kind of. I mean, I'm using like this one is like a standard sandwich gasket, my polycarbonate plate, whatever, so it's way softer. But I do like linears on a hard plate. But also like back in the
Based.
day, because the board that I ran that had it was like M0110, right? It was also brass plate and had like a shit ton of mounting points everywhere, so it was also super solid. But back then, like stiffness was still like a big selling point. I feel like,
I
right?
mean, it
Because
still
everyone was
is. It still is. Like
yeah.
some people really like it, some people don't. Like it's
You
understandable.
you will be surprised that 4.75 millimeter polycarbonate is not that stiff.
PC
No,
is fine.
MPC, yeah.
If you're gonna do above 3 mil, it needs to be plastic for me because like you'll still get like a little bit of softness when you
Yeah.
bottom out. Not a lot, but like there's something there.
Let me tell you, having a thick plate is much better than using a thin plate and foam.
But the best
Yeah.
thing is to have no plate and just flex.
I would rather I prefer if you are committed to having a keyboard that is no plate, fantastic. If you're building a keyboard and you're using a, I don't know, whatever material plate, and then you're adding foam, why not just go thicker and use a softer material? The build experience will be cleaner. Also, this goes about my rambling about why fixed plates are better. Like, I prefer
Fixed plates are better.
fixed plates are better.
Fixed plates are
Fixed layout PCBs are better when you're trying to build a playlist build. Just and after 1.5, I have like one of my keyboards that is it's 1.5 millimeter brass, and I'm like, it's not that flexy. I would rather just go thicker in that regard. And you can. There's something very funny when you do a very thick plate, but the mounting system is very soft and compliant, which is something that I have also experimenting, and it's.
I remember that was something I was trying to design, like back when I spent all my days in Fusion. Is exactly that. Like have like some leaf spring mechanism or something like that with a thicker plate, so that my goal was to make
Boy,
instead of having
I have good
plate
news for
flex.
you.
Oh, that's what you're doing. Nice.
It's one of the things. Yeah.
With SAR?
No. SAR.
Oh, not with SAR. Okay.
SAR was designed 5 years ago.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
no, but the stuff that it's in
Actually,
the pile of shame.
Zamb, you haven't really produced anything for a while. Janglad, you haven't produced anything for a while. Keyboard Buzz, I haven't produced anything for a while. Keyboard Buzz, like Cipulot's the only one who's actually been still putting out shit. Because like I'm sitting on designs from like 2016. I know you guys are sitting on old ass designs too.
Yeah.
Like, what's the plan? What are you doing? Like,
I will tell you something. It's not encouraging to design stuff when vendors don't pay you.
Yeah. I mean, remember, like, you don't like if you want to truly do something, you don't need fucking vendors. Just do it yourself. Do like 25 units.
It depends on the project. And also, for me, it was like, in my case, when I was running, like, say I want to run a keyboard, and like I'm going to run this keyboard now, and after, unless this is done, I'm not going to do the next design. I might develop things or anything. And the problem is that when a project gets stuck in limbo, which was the case of SAR for whatever reason, I'm like, I don't want to design another keyboard until this keyboard is available for purchase to everyone. So kind of like a non-written rule that didn't play in my favor, because I could just, I have done small runs of prototypes, like 13 keyboards or so, like of this thing, because why not? It's just
Yeah. For me, like, I don't know. It's just, I guess I don't think about keyboards that much anymore. And it definitely takes, especially for like actual keyboard, the cases, it takes quite a bit of effort to run a group by. And then also with stuff like Dharma, I just end up getting too, I don't know, like quote unquote perfectionist about it. And then, for example, because now it's also a design that's whatever, like 5-6 years old. And I'm like, I don't know, maybe I should update the mounting style a bit to be, there has been innovation there. And then you want to do that, and then you spend another $1,000, $2,000, whatever on prototypes. You probably fuck the first round up, so it ends up being $2,000 or whatever.
Yep.
And then you run it, and then also like, in not that it's, especially at this point, like really really matters. It's definitely not going to be profitable, but also you're probably going to run it at a loss. Like a keyboard, I feel like, depending on how many you sell. But at least from what I've heard, because again, I'm not super in touch with it anymore, like the numbers are definitely not super high.
It
Which
depends.
would, just...
It depends. There's projects right now that are doing 7,000 to 10,000 units.
But aren't those like the real good value ones?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, right.
But that's why they're doing that quantity.
Yeah.
I think,
But like I'm
Okay.
sure like a good keyboard, like a design, like a Janglad design or a Zamb design in like collaboration with Cipulot or Gondo, something like that. Like still like somewhat old school mentality.
no,
But
it doesn't
that
need
sort
to
of
be
design
old
needs-
school.
When I say old school mentality, I don't mean old school
Oh.
design. I mean no bullshit, not doing stupid shit just for the sake of
I
doing
know
it.
what. Okay, now I
You
know what
know?
you're talking about.
So like that kind of shit. If
no,
we're
that-
trying to sell it, we can do 500 to 1,000 units these days. Like if the price is not absurd.
Even 100 units, you should be surprised that 100 units for a project and having a shorter turnaround is preferable. It's just like, let's make something that is fun, something that is cool. I would rather have something that is 100 units or 50 units even. Doesn't
Okay.
matter. Like it's
But I'm saying there
100
is the
units,
potential.
100 units, and then you do another in-store drop, and another
Okay,
in stock. Because
Yeah.
what I'm seeing now, when I start rambling about it with Tangos and Hubert and Gondo and Zip, it's like the good stores are not doing the cheapest keyboard that is mass produced or directed to everyone. What you want right now, that numbers are down, is putting something that is fun, that is engaging, that is unique. So that's the 21XX. That's the Soleil. I will kind of like see all the stuff that Canon Keys is doing, and I'm very very happy with the stuff that they are doing, because the 21XX is stupid cool. It has a solenoid. It's big. It's something that people have wanted to make for many many years. Such a large keyboard with the double F row with the solenoid, and then they also go with the AKB OGR. It's
Yep.
cool again. It's kind of like, it's I cannot compete. This is again. I sound like a broken record. We cannot compete with. Let's make a keyboard that sells 4,000 units, and it comes.
No, yeah, indeed.
And it comes with 8 different styles, and it comes with and it's
24 colors.
24 colors,
24 colors, 5
plate
patinas.
options, 5 plate options.
Yeah, like
You have an easy kit, and then you also have an MX kit, and then
Oh, yeah.
then you also
And the base kit is all brass, and then like you can upgrade to copper. Welcome
Yeah.
to the
Yeah.
future, boys.
yeah, and then
I remember when I saw like Neo group buys for the first time, and you see like, I don't know, whatever the prices are, like 125 or
Yeah.
150 or whatever for like an ergo. I was like, dude, I could not make a top piece
I'm still
of Dharma and sell that to you at a profit for that
This-
price, let alone the
this
whole keyboard.
This is a tray mount keyboard. I got a quote for 300 units or something. The part cost was 155 euros.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
exactly.
Damn.
Yeah.
Because it's 3 parts. Well, it's a plate, internal weight, case. It has some
Okay, so
chamfers
it's
and
not a
everything.
one piece.
It's
Okay,
not a
it's not
one-
a simple one piece. Okay,
But
you scared
but
me, but that's still a lot of fucking money.
it was
That's-
like $145 or euros. I don't remember. And you are thinking you can probably sell this for 200 euros and don't make really a profit.
Yeah.
You have to pay the PCB designer. You have to have a margin for the B stock that you're going to get. That depends on the manufacturer, and then you have to have a margin for broken or lost units.
Yep.
And
So generally, the rule that I tell people is if your cost to machine a keyboard, just the case, is like $200, you need to be selling it for $400 to not lose money. That's your
Yeah.
break even generally.
yes, yeah.
Because the PCB and all the other costs, you double your case cost, that is your break even.
Yeah.
And generally, you
Yeah.
want to go over that because I've historically done break even and I've historically lost money every time. So like you need to go further than that.
I mean, because like M0110, even back in the day, right? That was sold for, don't remember, but I want to say like 500, 550 or whatever. That ended up losing
That
money.
was an
for, like,
experience. I remember that
quite a
keyboard.
bit. But yeah, it was an experience. Honestly, like pretty current, like actual kind of thing, because we ended up making it in the US, right? Yeah, it was made in the US.
Did you end up
'Cause
finishing it in the US?
Yes, that's part of the reason why it was Serika. Because
Uh,
we were going to do it in China. Then I got my prototype and it was pretty shit. And then I don't know how we came up with the idea of doing it in the US. I think John, like he's also no longer in the hobby, but he ran keys. I think
No,
not
Candy,
keys.
Desk
That's
Candy.
Kevin. Yeah. Damn, I can't even remember the name of his
Desk,
store.
Desk
Whatever.
Candy.
Oh, Desk Candy. Yeah. Yes, Desk Candy, indeed. And I think he might have known the guy. I don't know, but he had his a CNC shop in America, and at the time, like, seemed like a great idea because we figured, like, you can just go over there and look at the parts directly. Also, it's probably like way less bullshit of them trying to quote unquote scam you, because I've had things like that as well, right? Where they just try to cut corners and ways that you hope you won't notice. But no, it was fucking terrible. Like they were machined really, really poorly with an insane amount of tooling marks. And then when we went to code them, we had to code them like, I don't know, like 2-3 times, I think, just to get rid of the tooling marks. And Serika is pretty thick, so then stuff didn't fit together anymore. Also was delayed by like a year plus. And then it
Classic.
also was insanely expensive to get made. So yeah, wouldn't recommend
Mind
it.
you, this was
what a time to be alive.
2018,
Yeah, something
2017.
like that. Yeah.
So there wasn't like Chinese manufacturers in the last, obviously, 5 years have
Oh, yeah.
gotten their shit together
Yeah.
a lot.
And
They do offer like the full stack of, we are going to make you a keyboard, you're going to get the keyboard finished and everything. Here's your box, finished box, QC and everything.
Yeah.
If you have, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I remember the revolution that was like Datacen, right? Because they were like the first manufacturer, or at least that I know of, that really did high quality work in China.
Yeah,
and then
not
all of-
100% of the time,
No.
but like they were capable of doing it.
Okay.
Yeah,
As long as you were
fair.
willing to sit there with the whip and be like, no, that's
Yes.
not right, change that.
Yeah.
My first keyboard, like Verne, was made by Datacen, and I ordered like 40 units. And I ended up only selling like 13 of them or 15 of them of all of the 45 or so, because the anodization was bad. And I have but that was a long time ago. I know that they are much better now.
Oh, they're significantly
much
better.
better.
But other factories are also very good.
Yeah.
Hongchu is fantastic if you can negotiate pricing with them. But like their finishing thus far, I think, is the best finishing for anodization. At least they have the best anodization, because they're the ones that did the Aru like gradient anodization with the raised like 2-layer like hydro dip style like anodization. They do good finishing, dude. But they're
Obviously
pricey.
there's not like a this answer is going to fit every single scenario type deal. But I want to get everybody's thoughts on something that Gondo brought up last episode with Hubert. I think on last Thursday night. We all know Gondo. Sometimes he has sometimes he goes a little pessimistic, which is totally fine. That's him. He was saying how disappointed he was in the reaction of the Soleil, especially Reddit. And then I told him, Reddit's just a fucking cesspool. Like,
you're going to have to edit a lot of these podcasts.
Yeah.
No.
You're going to have to cut off like 15 minutes.
We need to make it 3 hours long so the profiling doesn't. I talked with Gondo about it. Well, you talked to, and it's like, you're absolutely right. Like, they don't understand. They didn't understand anything about the project. And it's
how do you guys get the passion projects out there? Obviously, you're not going to match what QK or a Neo can do in terms of value proposition.
I don't see the Soleil as a passion project. The issue is it's presented like a this is made directly for consumers, ready to go type dealio. And I think that's what hurt it the most, because I looked at it, I'm like, you're introducing a small solar cell into a keyboard and making it so the keyboard lasts forever, battery life wise. And nobody has done that before. That is fantastic. Not the biggest fan of the design, but conceptually awesome. And if this
as
had
a
been
mechanical keyboard in our sector, like it has
Yes,
actually been
a
done
custom.
before.
Yeah, a true custom, you
Yeah.
know? And I think if it was like more homegrown, more DIY style, more like not on Canon keys, just like a geek hack thing, I think the response would have been better. But the fact that it was like kind of shown to be a broader market board, even its styling is the same as that PC case that's like very popular with normies. So like,
God forbid Canon keys making something cool.
no, I'm saying they can, but the response that they got makes sense. You know, it'd be like Apple making something that's really niche and cute that's not for everybody. Most people can be like, no, fuck that. You know, it's a large enough company proposing what seems to be a finished project meant for like direct to consumer, but it's not that. It's our type of project. It's a fun project, you know, and people look at that, they don't realize it.
Do you think like Canon keys is a very large company? It's not.
They are. Canon keys in terms of pull, in terms of how
sure, but
like they are large. They're not many people. They don't do like immense god tier volume. They're not up there as high up as novel keys, but like Canon keys is big. They do a lot of good work.
Yes, and they are positioning themselves
have a
with
lot of impact.
these kind of projects, and I think that it's the right call by them. And it's a fun project. It's a fun project, and Gondo. Okay, but kind of I understand why Gondo was pissed. Is like you're trying to outsmart, and what is he? A doctor in electrical engineering? Yeah, he's a doctor in electrical engineer.
Oh yeah.
You're trying to outsmart a doctor in electrical engineer about something that he has actually done the math, and actually, and they are not outselling you the stuff about Soleil, about how long it will last, the battery or anything. So
I mean, dude, like everybody's gonna fucking backseat armchair detective anything that's on Reddit. That goes without saying.
You know,
like we need to have a certain level of a thick skin.
putting a battery in a solar panel. Oh my god, it's the worst. Your bullshit keyboard having an OLED screen for your GIFs and your waifus. Yes, that is fantastic.
Yeah,
yes, let's go. I need
gotta
more
watch my
screens on
favorite
my
anime.
keyboards. Yeah.
What do you think? What do you think, Sip? What's your take on that? Without divulging too much information that you don't,
Oh no, I wasn't even aware of the project. So the way I came to know the project was basically as a normie, like someone in the community, not someone that works with Canon keys or my PCBs, for example. I think what Simon said is true, and that explains partially why people had that that response.
Oh god.
And I also understand Gondo's reaction because as a PCB designer myself, I find myself in the same situation when I see people say things about other people's issues with my products, how they expect things to work and all of that. So, and knowing Gondo also, like he has a very particular way of replying. He has very firm beliefs.
Gondo doesn't have time for other people's bullshit.
Exactly.
And I respect that.
He doesn't have time for bullshit and all of that. And as Zambu said, like you're trying to get into a technical argument. And again, it's not a matter of gatekeeping or like higher ground standing people, but like when you're trying to school others on how physics and engineering works on a product that you most likely didn't even read the entire product page, it's not going to go well. Because I kept saying this for the past 2 years. People stopped reading and stopped listening to everything.
Yep.
Like
including Simon.
I've lost
I do it on
count.
purpose. It's by design.
Like I've lost count of the amount of DMs that
serious.
I got.
Like if I'm gonna buy a keyboard for me, I'm gonna read through everything, like every single time. But if I'm doing group buy reviews, I'm gonna read it like a normal person would. I'm not gonna read more than like 2 paragraphs.
Yeah, I mean,
because I know that's how it works.
I see the point. And that's actually why when people maybe criticize the way you do the group live reviews and the IC reviews, I'm like, I see what you mean, and I agree to an extent, because you're trying to think of Simon's streams as kind of like a tech reviewer, like it tries to go into every single detail of a phone, a PC, whatever. But I think the particular thing about your streams is that you reflect the behavior in streaming, not in your private stuff and other projects, of the average buyer of any keyboard.
Yeah,
So,
of course.
And also,
for example, for my PCBs, I have, like, when you sell the PCB, actually, I can probably show you. Usually, people when they receive PCBs, they are ready to go, in a way. So, for example, this is a 60% PCB. You would just drop this into your case and use it. But what I started doing is actually leave the assembly rails that the manufacturing is used for with, like, text and instructions. Exactly. So things like my website, my logo, the
please
PCB
calibrate
name.
your PCB.
Exactly. And, like,
Wait.
basic stuff as remember to snap off the rails. Remember to calibrate the PCB.
Right there.
And
remember to snap off this rail.
Exactly. And
Remember to snap off the edge rails first.
I lost count of the messages saying, "Oh, my PCB is not working," and I tell them, just try to calibrate the PCB, and they're like, "What's that?" And I literally have, like, text, a link, a QR code. I made a video about it.
So, Cipulot, here's how I was able to actually outsmart everybody. Again, it was only one key, but that one key, the default button was the instructions. So when you press it, it would give you all the instructions.
Nice.
Yeah, but
And it would give you links to everything. So, like, the original was like, here's where to get the firmware. Here's the Discord if you have any questions. Here's how you have to flash it.
Yeah.
Boom, done.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, there are people that are not even reaching that level. Because, like, I literally, like, Monday, let's call Monday, I made an entire post explaining every single thing. Not going into technical stuff, but, like, putting down all the informations. It didn't work. The next day, another guy came out and said the same thing. So, search function not found. Okay. Same exact question, like, literally in the same screen. So I said, okay, I'm just going to put down 2 links, and it's a video. That way, I don't know, they don't want to read. I don't know. They can just watch someone do it.
Honestly, I'm not above, like, having a paper manual, just like 1 or 2 pieces of paper that just has basic instructions.
Yeah, but the reply that I got from 2 YouTube links with, like, 3 minutes each of video was like, oh, I ain't reading all that. I was like, man, what are we talking about? So you have the extremes of, I don't want to put in the effort to get the replies to the answer to the questions that I put out. And, oh, I think I know so much better than this other guy that made the PCB. And that's why Gondo replied in that way, because a lot of people didn't understand the entire technical concept of the solar panel and a battery. That's probably, it's such a unique implementation for keyboard usage, because, as Zambu said, it has been done for other products. But, like, on a keyboard point of view, this is such a new thing.
It's a nice feature.
It's a nice feature that people didn't understand.
Yeah.
That's probably one of the few cases where you can actually say, oh, the user base didn't understand. It was ahead of what the average buyer would understand about this product. So that's why
it's also positioning. Positioning is important,
yeah,
because
it's
if
definitely
China if Neo came out with a $120 board with a solar panel, nobody would say a fucking thing.
Oh yeah, totally.
Because it's all about context, People see it as a higher end board. People see it as a board that's, like, more, like, enthusiast focused, kind of, even though, like, the styling is very normie. It's like there's quite a lot of disconnect. But again, I guarantee you that if it was Neo or Owlab,
Oh yeah,
Mr. Phone,
totally.
whatever, does a cheap board that's got that, people would just buy it in droves.
Oh yeah, I mean it's the same thing that happened. Not the like the overwhelming bad quote unquote feedback from the community. When I remember the Iki 68, 65, whatever that weird board from Muche Studio was, they released it in a bunch of configurations, mainly PC bottom or like acrylic, whatever it was, and a alu top. Everyone in our sphere, so like people that are hobbyists in a way, like they make stuff. They were like, okay, this makes little sense, especially for how they posed it. Like they said, oh, the aluminum top is gonna be so much more premium than a fully acrylic board and all of those bullshit. Then it was wireless, so everyone was like, oh my god, wireless! Oh, LEDs. Like
Did it have waifus though? It's got to have the waifus.
it had a key set with waifus on it, if I
Let's
remember
go.
correctly.
Okay, so they probably sold what, like 80,000 units of it?
Oh yeah, they sold a bazillion of units.
Yep. Yep.
So again, there's a bit of bias.
The answer to the
100%.
question right there is the fact that when it's a simple enough board, people don't give a shit. But when they see it's an actual designer that's putting their heart and their soul into
yeah.
it, that's when they start fighting back.
Oh
which
yeah.
makes no fucking sense.
I mean, it's kind of the same thing with, again, lower budget or low cost, but with great value boards, where people are like coping. They're coping. There's no other way to say it. When there are blatant defects and issues in mounting and assembly and all that, and they're like, oh, but it's $200 for a fully aluminum build with PCB and this, and that. I'm like,
I mean, that is very important, Cipulot. You have to keep in mind,
it's
like, this is
important,
something I've
but
always like kept in mind, which is like a lot of people don't have like the disposable income that like
oh
we
no,
have.
I
you know?
totally get it, but
So,
I'm
like-
specifically referring to people that I see them commenting on both ends of the budgets. You know, the $1,000 keyboards, the one that see an overpower case and they say, oh, why is this board $7,000? Which fair. But then they go all the way down and say, oh, but it's only $155. Why are you still complaining? Why are you even complaining? I'm like, that's a bit disingenuous. Like you can point out the absurdity of a $10,000 keyboards for the price and the technical challenges to make it and all that, and being honest and say, just because a board costs less and it's made in volume doesn't mean that you need to close an eye on like a centimeter long scratch. Like I get the point, but you gotta be honest about it. You know, you gotta say, I'm okay with defects and all of that because a vastly mass-produced product with a low cost. And I would be okay with that.
I mean,
I
they've
wouldn't
gotten
be
a
okay
lot
with the
better
QC.
too. Like,
yeah.
like Neo stuff has gotten good, STR stuff is good, or TKD stuff is good.
Yeah, I'm not
Good,
commenting
like,
on
God shit.
the actual product itself. I'm commenting on the buyers and the people that have this double standard.
Oh, of course, there is a double standard. You're absolutely right. Yeah, there's a huge
That's
double
what
standard.
bothers me. You know, it doesn't bother me that there's a board, like equally made boards in the West and Asia, that in Asia they cost so much less. We all know why they cost less. Like,
Why?
obviously, why? Because they're paid because they're paid like shit. Because the cost of living is so much different.
You think that they are paid like shit, but you don't go to China because of the cost of labor. You go to China because they have absolutely everything.
Yeah, you go to China because they have the best machining and finishing on the planet.
Of course,
Not the best
within a reasonable budget.
For the keyboards.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like you could spend 30 times more and do it in Japan. I looked into like proper chrome, like a 20 plus layer chrome job for the Illuminati One prototype in Japan, and it was, I shit you not, like I think $3,000 to $4,000 for the finishing.
Yeah, makes sense.
And I was like, no, I'll just make it out of aluminum.
And you go to the US and they will tell you, nope, we just prefer dealing with the Department of Defense and make stuff for the Department of Defense.
Yeah, I mean, again, which is fair.
Yeah.
Like every market has its own customers. You know, like we're not gonna deny that in the US or other Western countries, having bigger contracts brings in more money. Like,
They are
in no
they
way
are
I
not
can make a
interested in
one-off,
making keyboards when you can
Exactly.
make automotive stuff like making parts for
Exactly.
cars. It happens everywhere, yeah. And then
Janglad, what would pull you back into actual like keyboard making these days? Because like the hobby, like we passed that point of stupidity, like post COVID, where like
Mhm.
Thank
everybody was
God.
trying to sell dumbass boards for thousands of dollars, and now we're back to
Yeah.
reality. Like, sure, tariffs are a thing, but it's not so bad if you're smart about it. But like, what would it take for you to like come back and like re-release something?
I think realistically, like biggest factor is just what I said of me actually being into keyboards. I haven't tinkered with keyboards in quite a while.
There's nothing like
But
you've
apart
seen
from-
recently that's like dope. That's like got you like no inspirations. Because I've seen recent
I
shit.
got
And I'm
an-
like, ooh,
I did get an Event Horizon. I joined that group buy.
okay.
But other than that, I don't know what my last group buy is going to be. It's like ages ago.
I mean, shit. The last
Um,
group buy that like I actually joined was probably the Glare.
my last
Huh.
group buy, I think, was the Neo Ergo that I bought from Candy Keys, and it still hasn't shipped.
Dude,
Oh,
have you seen the Neo Ergo Duo or the Alice Duo, whatever the hell they call it, the
No,
wireless one?
with like the third thing in
I'm
between.
not.
like the
I'm sorry.
dongle?
I'm not interested in wireless keyboards. I don't know.
It's so well done. The power handling on it is super well done. I
Yeah,
haven't
it's
seen
like-
that kind of power handling before. So they sleep automatically very well. And
Mhm.
the second you touch a key, I don't know how they've set up the communication, but the second you hit a key, within about a quarter second, it'll wake up in pair and just immediately work. The handling is so good. I don't want to know which QMK.
Isn't ZMK?
They use ZMK.
Well, I'm pretty sure that they've done the naughty.
Oh yeah,
I will ask
You
the
know what I
question: Are they violating the ZMK
Oh,
license?
for sure. For sure. It's a guess. I might be wrong, but I feel like, of course. come on.
technically
Because the license
speaking,
is kind of stupid. Like, you're not allowed to change so many files that, like, you reasonably would need to change to, like, make it work.
I mean, the ZMK is not a bad mouth for ZMK, but like it's more of the license that it follows, which is inherited from the NRF licensing and all of that. The MIT license is good in a way.
Oh, MIT
But-
is very, very permissive.
It's extremely permissive. So it
For everybody
basically
listening, and for me that doesn't know every single detail of the MIT license, can you give us just like a ballpark on like what does it mean?
Here's the
So-
software. Deal with it.
yeah, basically.
Okay,
So
but can I take that software and build with it and sell it commercially?
Yeah.
Okay. Then how do I fail to follow the MIT license? What do I
No,
have to do?
when we're talking about license violations, it's usually Q&K.
talking about the GPL.
Okay, we're talking
license.
GPL, not MIT. Okay. Yeah, I was wondering.
Yeah,
I'm like,
that's why if you have if you ever open the documentation for ZMK specifically, there's in the developer informations and all of that a very explicit paragraph that tells you that ZMK is a clean room project, meaning that you cannot look, take, modify, or even only think about using licensed software or code that explicitly forces you to make it open source. So if you, for example, take something from Q&K and you port it directly, looking at the code into ZMK, that's a violation because Q&K is GPL license, so everything must be open. If you take something, you make a firmware for it, you must disclose the entire source code.
If a customer comes to like buys a PCB from you and you're saying it has Q&K and VIA, you need to provide them with the source code so they can compile themselves. Like, and the funny part is that they can send you a pen drive, they can send you a CD.
Yeah, exactly.
They can fork the Q&K repo.
just
It doesn't need to be the
throw a
official
fork on
repo,
GitHub.
Yep.
but they need to disclose the source code.
So the issue is they've developed like proprietary stuff that they should be sharing, but are keeping it for
Yes.
themselves because
Exactly.
of the business benefits. You know?
Exactly.
Okay.
the thing with ZMK is that with MIT licensing, you can do commercial stuff with it. So there's no like non-commercial thing going on with other types of
But if you
licensing.
change the code, if you're using
You're
QMK
allowed
and
to not
ZMK as a
share it.
base,
That's one of the aspects that
isn't ZMK itself using parts of QMK? Oh,
it's
really?
a
ZMK was like completely.
the only
No,
similarity.
it's built off TMK, isn't it?
QMK is built off of TMK,
Okay.
and they are both GPL licensed, V2, V3, depending on which version. The only thing that ZMK and QMK share is the 3-letter
The MK.
Oh, so okay.
the MK.
I didn't know that. I thought ZMK was built like because I know ZMK has been like the go-to since very, very early.
Yeah.
So like I assumed it was like I thought it was built off QMK because like I remember back in the day before we had VIA and you need to make your own key map, you'd go to config.qmk.fm or whatever. But ZMK had a site just like that where it worked exactly the same way. So in my head, I'm like, oh, okay. So like,
Wasn't ZMK more focused on Bluetooth devices and
yeah.
Bluetooth low
basically.
power stuff?
Yeah, because it's built off of Zephyr. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it correctly, but it's a completely different real-time operating system that is based off.
That's
so
awesome.
You have Zephyr for ZMK, so wireless. You can do wired as well. And then you have KeyBOS, ChibOS, however you want to call it, for QMK.
Today I learned.
I'm sorry, Pete. I've been going back and forth with Pete, ZMK dude, for months, trying to hammer out a date and time.
I would love to meet Pete.
Yeah.
Anybody that sat down and is just like, no, fuck you, I'm going to build something better is the best kind of person.
I have a thought-provoking question for all of you. And this is my last keyboard question, but it doesn't mean that we have to stop talking about keyboards.
Ever?
No, not ever, not ever. What project? I'll start with Janglad. Are you most proud of? Whether it's actual been released or just proof of concept, or you
I
can
think
have one
definitely
or two.
Dharma.
Okay.
Yeah, I've definitely put like by far the most amount of time into that, and also just most amount of care and whatever.
I really started that in like 2017 was like the very early design.
I mean, you can probably find render because I used to do like renders for a lot of keycap sets as well as like a commission kind of thing. And you can probably find random sets that have that design, maybe even in 2016. I'm not sure. But yeah, so I think it went through a lot of iterations. But yeah, put a lot of time into that. I remember I spent a lot of time on like the curve specifically because that's when I discovered the whole like G1, G2, G3, whatever curvature thing that I'm sure a lot of more people are doing now too.
And that you have to do manually.
Yeah, and like getting that right in Fusion, and also just the design itself. I was super anal about like Zamb touched on that a bit earlier, but like using Fusion properly and having like literally everything be constrained and parametric, and like the timeline was so beautiful and clean and whatever. Yeah,
can be me.
Definitely.
Can be.
Yeah, I mean, I was so pedantic about that because sometimes I get like render files for keyboards and they just send the F3D file, and I open it up and it's like all like delete face and stuff like that.
Extrusion 283.
Yeah.
Sketch
Yes.
197 for a very popular endgame keyboard. I have shared that file with shown that file.
Yeah. And then just indeed also like no components, just random bodies and stuff like that. Yeah.
Why didn't we catch that these parts didn't fit?
Yeah.
I wonder why. No, it happens. It happens like it probably like when Janglad said, "Oh, I'm very you want to be perfectionist and perfectionist about Dharma." It probably is like, how can I make sure that everything is organized and ready? So when I need to change something, it will be completely the design won't break, and I can adjust it exactly for what I need. Like, what if I find that the spacebar could be a little bit better if I move the mounting point a quarter of a unit to the left, and
Yes.
you test it,
Yeah.
and it's like, okay, so for that you need to decide to move and be constrained. Unfortunately, I don't think that's something it's a shame, kind of like, oh, designing a keyboard is fine, it's easy, I'm fine, and it's like, okay, understand the software that you're using and how people normally use it, so you can make sure that when you have any issues, you can solve them very fast. Like, what if you find that the slope of the keyboard, like you test it, you make a prototype, and then you are like, maybe if it was a little bit more tilt for this keyboard, how do I do it? The lazy mode will be you chop the model, you make a kind of like a wedge or something, and you twist the thing, and then you realize, okay, so you go to the factory, another prototype, and somehow you realize that you cannot insert the USB daughter board, whatever. Some kind of thing that, and going to the perfectionist route of, I'm going to make sure that everything is in the model, tested, make sure that I have taken into account. I understand what Janglad went through.
Yeah, because also as a random thing that I just remembered, something I saw a lot was like distances between things that should be like a fraction of a unit, like a whole fraction of a unit or something, being like a comma unit with like, I don't know, 10 floating points or 20 or whatever, because sometimes you just saw stuff that was like
that seems very
visually centered or stuff like that.
Yeah, that was like, when you do that instead of using a parameter, like the first thing that you do on a design, and Simon saw it the other day with the Alcatel 100 or so. The first thing that you do on a design is you define the cherry grid parameter, which is 19.005 millimeters or 0.75 inches, and then the keycap size, which depends on the keycap, but usually you do 18.10, because if you do 18.10 and then you do 1905 minus 18.10 and you divide by 2 and then you do the square, it ends up being, I think, 20 millimeters when you do a 1 unit keycap or something like that, because it's 0.475 millimeters of offset when you do the layout opening. Like, you start using always the same parameters for what's the height of from the plate to the top of the keyboard. It depends on the designer, but sometimes it's 7 millimeters up to 8 millimeters, depends on how the keycaps sit.
8 crew, let's go. Sorry.
I think I always did that too.
Well, closer to 8, but not like, I would never do pure 7,
maybe
because I know some
8.5.
tabs will get a little
7.5.
high.
I have done 7.5, and then the chamfer that you do in the opening usually is 0.5 millimeters. The corner that you use in the opening, it depends on the keycaps, but it looks good if you do 1.25 millimeters. The problem if you do 1.25 millimeters is that the factory will tell you, we are not going to do a 1.25 millimeter radius if you do it 8 millimeters deep. So you need to do a step thing. And if you look for keyboards such as the Type K or the AAO3 Vega, or you see SAR or whatever, or you will see that they are hiding it in such a way that the first 5 millimeters or so are 1.25 millimeters, and then you go down and there's like the cavity opens, and then you have a 1.75 millimeter or a 2 millimeter radii on the corners. There's also like the PCB thickness, the distance from the PCB to, like, you start memorizing those things, and then you do a list, and thankfully now you can import and export that list to the file.
Oh, you can?
Now you can. It has
Damn, I missed out, man.
You don't need to
Life's gotten a lot easier.
Life's got so easier that
Fusion was able to teach me how to do Fusion in a total of 4 hours. In 4 hours, from knowing nothing, I was able to build a TKL with a plate.
Nice.
Like no PCB or whatever, but like it fit together. It had the correct chamfers. It had the correct everything. And it was done correctly, because he gave me like the individual measurements of like, put this in here, put this in here, and it will automatically just like make sure it's perfect for you. And I've forgotten all of that information. I know that if you press S, you can search.
I don't use the search function. I just use the FX, and I parameterize everything. So you name everything, and you try to name what each operation in the timeline does. So when you need to change it, you go to that operation. But
Thank you for telling me that 4 months later.
Like
We went
renaming.
back and made one change, and all of a sudden the keyboard went from a keyboard to like a giraffe. And
Yeah.
we're like,
You know, the most important thing that you need to know for any parametric software is like the sketch, when it's fully constrained, it will have like a red icon.
Yeah.
And when it's not fully constrained, it will have like a pencil in the sketch.
That's like the Inglorious Bastards 3-finger moment when you open a file and you see it's the wrong icon. Yeah.
You know that at some point it's going to break.
Yeah.
Fun fact, even if you fully constrain, sometimes Fusion decides that when you recompute, it will
loses
not
constraints. Yeah.
So you need to be.
Are we all locked on Fusion forever? By the way, because you got
No.
Inventor,
Oh, hell
you've got
no.
KitKat,
No.
you've got like plenty of stuff that like works well. Why are we so like set on Fusion?
Well, because firstly you say we've got Inventor and then we got KiCad. KiCad is for PCBs.
I mean, is it only for PCBs? Like, can't you make like really basic boards with it, like stack boards and stuff?
Why you can do if you can do basic boards, just use Inkscape and make SVGs and Inkscape.
Yeah, you can probably do the same in Paint. Like,
okay, fair. Yeah,
realistically.
I mean, to be fair, most of my design, all of my designs so far were MS Paint before they were anything else.
And if you can convey what you were looking for, sure. Yeah.
Also,
now you have Onshape, you have SolidWorks. I can tell you that I know people that use SolidWorks. There's SolidWorks like a kind of like a Fusion 360 SolidWorks thing.
Yeah, like a normie version of SolidWorks.
Normie. Okay. I will tell you, I tried to keycode at some point. Tried Siemens NX.
Oh God.
And the Zach was like, I talk about them, like, can you test it? And they were like, yeah, we're going to test it. They tested it and it's like, no, it's not for us. It's just for really, I guess, Apple and big companies because of how it works. Also, the licensing, the install process was a nightmare. You require a technician and they have to guide you and to install the license or whatever. It was not the thing that you want for what we do. And then you can even use OpenSCAD. It's OpenSCAD, right?
Yeah.
If you really want to punish yourself. If you really, really want to do things wrong, you can use Blender. Blender is for meshes and not for CAD.
Right, I was going to say.
There's plasticity, but the problem is that you when you are making a real part, you want documentation. It's the most important thing. Despite like you want a PDF file accompanying like the step file that tells the manufacturer the measurements, so they know how large the blocks that they need to get to fixture and to make everything. The tapping, how the tapping is, the tolerances. Ideally, most people won't send any tolerance because if you go with a manufacturer that does keyboards, they will probably know more or less how to make things fit together. Materials, finishes, annotations on where to fixture the plate when you do the one to the finish. Like maybe you include M4 screws so they can hang the pieces inside and have the hooks for the anodization or the powder coating or whatever, saying, hey, mount the keyboard this part in here, in here, in here, so the exterior doesn't have any hook marks. Yeah. And all of this
also, yeah, and I mean, one thing with Fusion is like it sucks that they're so big on like the whole cloud thing, right? Because you can't save things locally, but it's really meant to be used through their whole cloud thing. But they also, because there's a built-in renderer, right? And you can like render stuff in the cloud, which is very expensive, except for on a student license, it's free.
For some reason.
And like hypothetically, if you were like a 16-year-old back in whatever 2016 doing keyboard renders and that had just like a dual core MacBook Air, you could run hypothetically all those renders through the student license and actually be able to render stuff on your computer. So that was definitely an advantage of using Fusion.
Yeah, but the good thing is that nowadays there's also kind of like a little bit of material and how to do it in Blender. So you don't in reality, if I could say something about renders, if you can avoid having renders, it's better. Like if you can have a prototype, it's much better.
Definitely, yeah.
Like if you're going to make a keyboard, the most important thing that you need to understand is that if you're going to invest, it's going to start as a passion project. So be prepared to spend a lot of money to head start that project, and make sure to invest in prototyping the PCBs, prototyping the case and everything. And then you have a prototype, even if it's unfinished, that you go to PCB way and you get the cheapest quote or whatever, because you don't want to deal with Alibaba and messaging the rep and you want an insta quote. Even if it's bad quality or whatever, you get that keyboard, you get that prototype, you spend like $500 on it, you have it on your desk, you take some pictures, and people are going to take you way more seriously than if you have a render. Way more serious, and they will say, this person, they did their job. And if the project goes well and you can make 50 units, whatever, sure, fantastic. If not, you already have your keyboard.
Yeah,
which is
true.
something that most people can't even talk about. You can also print keyboards in 3D printers are very good these days, and a Bamboo X1C or whatever, you can print a 40%, or you can print a 60% and chop it in half. So
or you can just order, you can have a 3D print service.
Yeah, it's more like making a keyboard is more accessible than what it
it's
used
far
to.
more accessible now.
So it's
What's the one that you're proud of, Zamb?
I was going to say MT3 Serika because of the typeface.
That was really cool, yeah.
Saying I'm going to develop a full typeface and making the katakana based on the katakana typeface is based off an Olivetti katakana typewriter. There's only one or two pictures, low resolution pictures on the internet. I was searching I don't even know if the site is still up. I still have on my folder of references, and the reference were beam spring keyboards and that typewriter, and making everything from scratch. It's making the typeface is one of the things I'm most proud of. I don't think but I don't feel it has been so long ago that I don't feel that much the stuff that I'm making now all together. I want to. I posted on C Frontier today. They asked me, "Oh, why aren't you posting so much?" And I replied them, I'm not posting so much because I'm trying to build everything. We have already had this conversation that I'm trying to build everything from even from the designing the screws to the keycaps. If you can, my most proud project will be whatever I'm doing right now, and then I can fuck off. For good or for bad. Go big or go home.
Oh, hello.
Hello. Go big or
Hi,
go
Simon.
home, because what I have been doing now, you guys, I have posted it on my own server and more or less show you to you guys. What I'm doing now is kind of what I'm most proud of, because it has taken all of these years of trying to make things parametric well and try to combine everything into keyboard, keycaps. There's the stabilizers already done. The switches, unless there's the navies, unless I have asked Eric from Avors, "Hey, can I revisit them? Can I give you pointers on them?" And so I will probably. I cannot say, oh, I have designed switches, because unfortunately they have already done the job for me in that department. But yeah, it could be if I can make this keyboard or this keyboard system, I will be. That's what I'm proud of right now. The latest projects. So yeah, so ongoing project.
Fuck yeah. What about you, Sip? Sip has so many projects.
Yeah,
I don't
he
want
has
to.
so much.
I don't want to. I have so many questions
There
for
is only
Sip.
one correct answer.
Okay.
I don't want to.
I'll give you a hint,
answer,
Cipulot. The correct answer is about that big.
Exactly. So I'm not sure, because the way I do projects, and we can go deeper into this whole conversation in this separate episode, is I over focus heavily on a single project for like days. Like I would stay up until 8 a.m.
He's junk.
Yeah, like I would start designing at 8 p.m. because usually I work at night, and I would finish designing stuff at 8 a.m. for like 3 days straight.
Yep.
And until I finish that project, I'm not happy. So there's not really a single project that I'm most proud of. I could say like the EC PCBs, but that would be like an easy answer, you know. I think probably the project that I will be in the future most proud of is the Hyper 7 in EC.
Topper 7, let's go. Yes. Sorry.
The original idea was, again, just a meme, because probably 80% of the PCB ideas that I have for like layouts and stuff is just shit posting, to be honest. Like the debated was like, hey, it's funny. It's big ISO enter. Why not? And even the ISO, like the original ISO, I was like, I have like a weekend to spare. What should I do?
For the record, like I had never reached out to Cipulot or talked to Cipulot, so like the ISO was made, and then one day in the mail, I got a EC PCB, and I'm like, wait, how'd you do this? Did you measure it? He's like, no, I didn't have a unit.
Yeah, like totally random. I was like, okay, this is funny. Like I'm not an ISO user. I use ANSI for everything, unless it's JIS. I was like, okay, this is fun. So I literally just opened 5 streams of everyone that I know of who actually built a unit, and literally just used the caliper on the screen and made like the proportions. So I was like,
been there, done that.
Meanwhile, you could have DM'd me, and I would have just sent you like the full PCB and case files.
Yeah, I know, but what's the fun?
I mean,
in that,
I gave those to James, but after he had finished most of the ISO GR, this right here. But he was like mostly done with it, and then I gave him the file, and he's like, "Oh, well, at least we'll make some things somewhat similar." I don't think it's similar in any way.
Oh, here we go.
Right?
Here we play some Macropads.
Oh, do you have the balls? Wait, do you have the balls?
No, I don't have the balls. Yeah. I'm
Okay.
ballless.
guys,
No balls certified.
guys, we need to send Cipulot some balls for his ISO GR. It's very important.
Hey, that's all you. That's all you.
Well, the question is, like, I don't know if I still have my balls. I did recently get married, so
clip that. Yeah, like going back
I'm gonna use that, yeah.
to the original, like I don't really have like a project that I'm like, oh, I have a vision, like keycap designers or case designers. So I think the project that I will be most proud of will be the Hyper 7 in EC, because I have so many weird ideas. Like,
dude, I have so many weird ideas, and it's not even my project.
Triple solenoid.
Oh yeah, I want to build into that thing everything, because the space is so massive, and especially after working on the 21XX, I realized that I had so much space to waste that I didn't know what to do with it.
All of the screen for GIFs, and also solar panels.
Yeah, the current idea is EC only PCB with the most fucked up layout support possible. You need to make your plates whatever. Like, it's gonna be expensive.
Did you know? Well, you can, next time that Jay comes to the Good Keyboard Friends podcast, that there's a Hyper 7 keyboard in North Korea.
What? Okay. Now I gotta buy it. I mean, I bought some sassy stuff from Korea and China.
No. Someone placed an order through the Prototypes store.
Okay.
And DHL ships to North Korea for some reason.
Because they love money.
Yeah, they say they ship to North Korea. And apparently someone placed an order from there, I guess.
Okay, it must be a fake. Like, it must be a joke.
Was it Kim? It had to be Kim, right?
Well, there's like 21 surnames in Korea, isn't it?
True.
It's a funny story about how they came up with photos. Yeah.
I mean, I could make a Korea version of the Hyper 7, I guess.
But I know how it was. It was like he mentioned like, oh yeah, someone placed an order, and I checked the
location
the
is
location.
North
It was
Korea.
like North Korea.
I mean, remember that whole Trump thing where he said like he's gonna need a bigger button? Maybe he was just like thinking, I'll just get more buttons, you know?
That's the play.
There you go.
More
Yeah.
buttons,
Yeah.
more
Well,
fun, baby.
Someone
Exactly.
is very passionate about keywords in there. Maybe it was someone in an embassy.
I mean,
Oh, true.
probably. Yeah,
Hopefully.
the Hyper 7 is probably the project that I would love the most, because I would make the case, I would make the PCB, and then chuck everything into it. So the PCB would be the normal stuff EC that I do, but then I want to make a Thunderbolt dock in the keyboard. Like I wanted to have like display ports and all of that. At one point, I had the stupid idea to make a fiber modem. Like
are you going
for
to
the
design
ISP.
yourself the Thunderbolt dock?
Oh yeah, like I already have a prototype. It costed way too much. It
Jesus.
costed like $1,000.
Here's the
Not
question,
my
though.
smarter design.
Does going with the Thunderbolt dock allow us to like get like a decent amount of power through that? Because then you could set up like 3-4 capacitors and 24-volt solenoids.
Trickle
That-
trickle
oh,
charge. Trickle
that would
charge.
I mean,
go-
technically yes, because so it would have like failsafe and like fallback protocols. So for example, if you have it's not the same thing, but if you have like a USB 3 hub and you use a USB 2 cable, it just works in USB 2, you know? Of course, if you have only PCIe based protocols and you don't have a PCIe connection, it wouldn't work. But I can have like smart ways to do like fallback and all of that. Power is not going to be an issue. And to be honest,
Sweet. Okay.
I made a deep dive in the last 2 weeks into Chinese power stuff because of like power banks and stuff. And I found some weird stuff like this thing.
That's
Okay.
interesting.
Yes.
Is that just
It's a
again?
charger.
It's a
that
wall
again?
charger. Yeah.
What is that? Like 35 watts? 40?
65.
Have you tested it?
Yes.
Does it-
It's
Nice.
actually 65 watts.
Nice.
I'm like,
My
what
65
the
is way
hell
bigger than
this?
that. It's like
Like,
3 times as thick, but it's also GAN.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Like this is 65.
I have like a 65 gun thing, and it's very small actually.
This is 140.
Yep.
It has a screen for whatever reason. You can like there's so much stuff and tech that I can chuck into the sheer volume of a Hyper 7 that I can make it do literally everything. If I want to power a rice cooker, I could probably do it. You know, like if I made like the very old Asus laptops that had like the liquid cooling docks, I could probably make a dock for the Hyper 7 with a rice cooker in it. Just because I can, you know, I can put 240 watts on a USB-C cable now.
Yep.
because of
You can
power
water
delivery.
cool the Hyper 7.
I can probably do. I can probably
Just
do
make a plate that goes underneath, and then you in an acrylic an attachment.
When I tested my Thunderbolt dock, it was like super hot. But then I thought about it and I was like,
No.
the Hyper 7 is just so massive. I can use the keyboard as a heatsink. Because why not?
True.
Yeah.
Not the first keyboard that was called something out of heatsink. You have the thermal.
Yeah, but
So-
that thermal
But
doesn't thermal anything. Though.
yeah, but this one would
This
actually
one
be the
will thermal.
Hyper
Yeah.
Servo thermal.
The
So-
Topra Thermal 7.
Yeah, so that's probably the project that I would be most proud of, but simply because it's just shit posting, I'll make like 5 units.
Yeah, that's already
Because
like
why
way too
not?
many.
Yeah, like 5 units is it's gonna cost like so much money.
Well, people are on a wait list for a $3,600 keyboard. They're going to be on a wait list for a Hyper
Yeah.
7 keyboard.
I mean, realistically,
How did you do
it's
that?
gonna cost like a lot of money. Like
It's
I am willing to pay $2,000 to $3,000 towards this
Okay.
project for it to happen, as long as like I end up with a unit. I'm like,
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that's what it's going to take. It's going to take like 4 or 5 of us to come together and everybody throw in
yeah.
like $2-3 grand, and we
Yeah.
make it happen. That's the only way, because like the amount of like upfront cost for something that big is impossible for you to be able to manage without getting money in advance.
Yeah, I mean, like realistically, I could probably already make the case.
I mean, but you're not going to make the case
from a
until you've got all the
from a
until you've got
financial
like
point of view, I can probably just make like as of now without having to like go crazy, like not going dead. I could probably make 2 units, like fully built. But at the same time, I'm like, do I want to do that? Because it kind of goes back to the point that Zamb was making, which is if I have projects ongoing, I don't want to start new things because then it takes away from the way I design stuff. So, for example, the new PCB, the one that I showed before, I spent probably 3 days searching for a very specific USB port because I have brain damage, because of course, and I have to have like I counted them. There's probably 60 plus screw holes that you can use in various configurations, and just one of them worked, so that you can use this in an HHKB. And damn it, I want to be able to use it in an HHKB. So I spent 3 days searching for a USB port. It costs 3 times as much as the previous one, but it works.
let's go.
I had projects that I had to deliver in between.
out of the box HHKB, you mean? Or
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, this PCB is based on which switch type you use. You can use it in anything. GH60, the Frog Mini Tadpole mount, like the older one, the new ones, any tray mount, the GH60. You can use it in a OEM HHKB. That's the most support that I can chuck into it, and that's the goal. Like the goal for the projects that I do is have 1 SKU if possible, because 1 SKU is efficient. If it doesn't fit, it shouldn't be there. 6.25 on the Real Force R1. People asked for it. I'm like, no. There's 6U, there's 7U, and there's JIS. That's it.
Yep.
If you want 6.25, use the other TKL. I'm not going to sacrifice compatibility for whatever weird layout. You want split space bars? Fine. But then use them. Like, I have this much on my picture that is this big of layout support just in split space bars that no one ever used.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I bet you one person used it one time and it was like, okay, this is stupid.
The cool thing about easy PCBs is that you don't need to add large holes for more layout support, unless you do the hybrid MX EC stuff.
Yeah, the pure EC has some limitations as well.
Yeah.
So if you have too many layout supported, there's the issue of not being able to separate one switch position to the other because they just won't merge together. But as long as I can achieve the highest amount possible while being satisfied that it will work, like if you want to use second bottom row, the experience
you mean
in
7
typing,
units?
Yeah.
I'm going to die on that hill. 7 unit bottom row.
Okay, 7U bottom row. The experience in typing and assembly should be the same as whatever fucked up JIS convoluted bottom row you want. Because if it's not the same, that's just adding stuff for the sake of adding stuff, and I don't like that. Like
Plus,
if you don't have compression, I'm very big on the compression argument for EC. If I'm losing one screw to support another layout, and that screw for me is important for the experience, I'm not gonna add that layout.
Your PCB is well, what you're building is not a PCB for a specific keyboard. It's more like a PCB for like the PCB. So when there's a keyboard that originally didn't support electrocapacitive, now it can support electrocapacitive. So it's a different experience of something like the Blue Ridge that is just you're going to have this layout and this layout only, and then you're getting the perfect experience of clean layout, whatever. So it's I understand. I also understand why you put you draw the line on, okay, if I have to remove mounting fixture points between the plate and PCB, which are important for easy to actually work properly and don't have separation between the switch and the PCB. I understand where you say, no, I'm not going to add this layout, or because it compromises.
Yeah.
It
Yeah, like,
compromises the structure, not the
But you could just use magnets, bro.
no magnets,
To keep the plate and the
please.
PCB together. You just use magnets, bro. It's the future.
Is that a sneak peek, Simon? Or is that what you're most proud of?
No,
A
absolutely.
future project with magnets?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I mean, if it's Hall Effect, yeah, there'd be magnets in it, but that's basically it. I'm most proud of the NWO series. Doesn't exist yet. James is still touring the planet, and James is supposed to be finishing up the case design. I'm pretty sure Gondo already did the whole fucking PCB.
in between the thesis and everything, PCB
Probably,
done.
yeah. Probably. No, I don't think it's completely done. But yeah, that's going to be a cool project. If you don't know, it's G80 5000, but in aluminum. I'm going to make 200-ish units, and I'm going to open source it the day of group by start. So if you want to make your own, go make your own.
I was expecting a more wholesome Simon saying, the thing I'm most proud of is my community that calls me out when I say bullshit.
No, we were talking about keyboard projects.
Isn't a keyboard project, the Black Simon channel?
Listen, the Black Simon channel is and has always been a mistake, and I'm still here. It's a mistake that I decided to stream, and it's a mistake that you guys watch me. I can't believe this shit.
It's probably the ongoing stream that has done group by reviews that has been for the longest. So congratulations, you outlive everyone. But it's also because you don't only do the group by reviews, you also build sometimes the keyboards.
I do builds, we look at photos, and then YouTube is different. YouTube is more educational, more like actual review, so people can get actual information. Because on stream, if you ask me like, hey Simon, what's this? I'll be like, and get them. That's what stream is all about. But yeah, of course I love my community, and it's not that I love my community, I love the keyboard community. The keyboard community as a whole is fucking awesome. But my favorite, like the keyboard project I'm most proud of, that's taking into consideration that the i1 was a complete keyboard that I could have sold in 2018 if I wanted to, but I didn't like it enough. The i2, which was supposed to be the molded carbon fiber over an aluminum skeleton. Like, I started talking to guys that do carbon fiber in Dubai, but in the end, it was just like, I don't want to deal with this.
Oh, you were going to make it in Dubai?
Well, yeah. I mean, that's the whole concept, is I'd work with somebody that can do like very good carbon fiber layering and molding. It's a place where I can physically like go and make sure that they're doing a good job. Because the whole idea is it's all carbon fiber. It's a true ultra leggera. That's the whole concept of an i2, is to build a true like sub 400 gram wireless keyboard.
Is this like the making in Dubai? Is it because there's like a huge car?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, surprisingly. Like, I didn't think there were that many like carbon fiber places, and we had picked one up to do something for like the job that I had. We were making membership cards out of carbon fiber for each member, and that had silk screening, and then after that there'd be coating on top, so like the resin would coat it. And I looked at some of the other work that the guys had done, and they'd done like panels for PS5s, they'd done car parts, and they gave me like large, big fuck off pieces of carbon fiber that they had like made that weren't like perfect, that were like probably like $1,000 parts. So like, here, keep this and like see how you like it. And they were super cool guys. And they were like, when I explained like the keyboard idea, they're like, I think this is a cool idea. I think we could do it. And then I started having to plan my move and leaving the country. So it never happened. But I might someday. I don't know. Yeah. I think Paul wants to do something like that. And if Paul wants to do it, like, I'll give him like all the contacts, all the information I have, and let him run with it. Because I prefer focusing on like the NWO series. The 5000 will be the start, but like I want to like keep the whole series, go boom, 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 throw out good open source projects that will be licenseless. So like you can take it, do whatever the fuck you want with it. The only rule will be you cannot put my branding on it, because that is trademark infringement, and that's it.
See, this is what's awesome. Simon said if Paul wants to do it, he'll give it to Paul. Everybody that we have on here is super helpful, super into the community, giving back, working, collabs.
I'm not.
Me, no, come on. As someone who isn't an old head, as Hubert said on the last episode,
oh, Jesus.
I joined in 2017 or 2021, however you look at it. it's amazing to hear all of these conversations every single week from all these people. You guys all, this is going to sound super cheesy. I don't know, lack of a better word, like heroes or like people that I want to listen to speak for hours on end because it's so fucking fascinating. So I want to thank all of you for doing this. This is not a one and done thing either, Janglad. We will have you on for many episodes to come. Same with Zambu, same with Sip. Yeah. For me, the greatest thing every single week, especially recently, I don't want to get into too many personal things, but it's the 2.5 hours we spend every week on the podcast, having amazing guests like you, hanging out with co-hosts like Simon.
Well, you actually spend
Okay.
more because you don't you do like 2 sessions a week?
Sometimes.
I think we've done like 3 in a week. Oh yeah, me and Hubert, we need to like meet after this, right? For the other thing.
Yeah, it'll just be me and you, because the other lads can't make it. But
We're up to a lot of stuff. We're up to a lot of stuff, and by that I mean Hubert is up to a lot of stuff.
I'm going to be completely honest. The Good Keyboard Friends podcast is very well organized. Like very well organized. Like it is much. The experience of a podcast, like having a call, doing it, record it, and then post it later on. It's much better than you make sure to accommodate to the guest, and no live chat distractions. We can ramble a little bit more about it. If we go too long, you can cut us. You can mute us, and you can delete us from the podcast if necessary.
Delete us from this planet.
No, Simon.
Come on, give me an out,
It's all
please.
Yeah, but
you can never leave.
Yeah, but like however, I would say like likewise, because talking about keyboards in particular like sparks a lot of joy. If you find people that are that into keyboards. I went to when I went to the GMK meetup that I didn't go to the meetup. I went to the hotel the day before, and I had to leave.
Oh,
Someone, I think Clever Keep said, "Oh, so you are an expert into 3D printing." I was like, maybe I am now, because you end up in many cases, or many folks. In my case, I was very very isolated developing stuff. It happens a lot, and then you lose kind of like track of what you have done and what you haven't done. And some friends visited the studio like many months ago, and they were like, "Oh, so this is very cool." And I'm like, "Yeah, I guess." Like the most planned response, "Yeah, I guess." And then you realize, "Oh, I have actually done quite a lot of things."
Sam, you're like, you've put in a lot of work over the years, just little things here and there that have advanced the hobby and the community. You choose Sip. Like
No,
both of you guys have done a lot of small things, just like the render models that you worked on early on, Zamb, that like nobody had built yet.
I can tell you something. I did the first project webpage for it was shit, but I did the first project webpage for a key set. Nowadays it's much easier because you can ask a GPT to actually help you with that, and there's like websites are much better prepared to do stuff like with images, and there's a lot of more resources. There were a lot of innovations when it comes to kitting, and the responsible for that, the first guy that actually did a lot of work was Tomberry with Carbon, either the SA Carbon, whatever. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff that went behind the scenes, and you can probably ask Janglad as well, that went behind the scenes in 2017, 2016, whatever. That was like kitting and actually looking at numbers and counting keycaps, and then realizing, oh, this is how you optimize the layouts and how you optimize like a kit. And then when you will
imagine to this day, sometimes you get like people still can't fucking put together a good kit. Like I've seen Zamb kits; they're the best kits.
No.
I've seen Janglad kits; they're not as good.
No. Actually, it depends. It depends, but
He's got more keys.
it goes to how you structure your key sets. Like, you have to understand several things. Firstly, vendors are not charities, which is something that unfortunately some people don't understand very well. That it's a business after all. You cannot perpetually subsidizing a kit is not something a vendor can do. It's something that GMK might be able to do because they have way better margins, which is why they are now doing, like, for certain sets they are doing the international kit that will be in stock at their shop later on at their store. But you have to understand, like Cipulot before, he said something very important, like the best optimal SKU, which is
It's one.
it's one, yeah. So when you do a keycap set, you have to understand you're not doing a single kit, because a single kit is going to be larger, it's going to be expensive. So you need to understand how much people are going to spend on a key set. And it turns out that ideally it's 100 to 130 bucks.
Yep.
Depends on the MOQ. And it also you have to understand, okay, people that are more passionate, that are more enthusiasts, might spend 150, 170 bucks. But they are not going to spend 250. They might spend $200, but not much more. And then you start optimizing the kits in that. And back then, when you see 9009, Modern Dolce, Minimal, you can see how they were optimizing the kits. Year after year, we were learning more and more what not to do. And then you go to 2020, and you start seeing kids like, oh, I'm going to run a kit, and we're going to do an alternate alphas, and the alphas are just alone. So the keyboard ships, or the keyset ships, and then you end up with a vendor like my keyboard EU that has like alpha kits that they cannot move. And then you have like you end up having like 8 kits on a set that is going to sell 1,000 units. If you're
Yeah, and I think like MOQ indeed that just makes a big difference too, right? Because both in like a pricing sense, as in when you split out numpad ISO from base, but that allows you to get to like a $90 price point. That's probably way more worth it than when you split it off and, like, I don't know, you sell them still at like 120 and the child kit is going to be like 45 or whatever. Because with the volume that was being moved during COVID, it was just possible to make the base kits pretty damn cheap. And a lot of people in the end are using like 65% ANSI keyboards, right?
Yeah.
Because I think like,
No,
I mean,
it's TKL.
or TKL, yeah. TKLs.
Again, you got to know your audience. If we're aiming for like GMK and above quality, most people definitely own multiple TKLs at the very least. So like,
True, yeah, definitely. But I mean, TKL was still supported in the base kit, right?
But like, Zamb was talking about having like 8 kits or 20 kits, and like that's something that will never work because I remember the cats. Eventually,
like
it
keycaps,
you're going to be like you're going to be stuck with leftovers. One part of a kit does not make a kit,
okay,
which is
so
why
for instance, what I was doing back then, you would use data from previous group buys to understand what's going on. So I can tell you, for instance, that if you do what we would call this is adoption rate versus what the main base kit, core kit could do. Extension kit means something like ergo support, split spacebar, 6 unit, clue port support, so that's 6060 C or M. I would bundle in their alternative layouts, so alternate layout support that is not that common. So you have, for instance, a function in the bottom row that is 1.5, or a function key that is in the step caps or whatever. So alternative layout support and extension layout support, that's when it's expansion kit. Those would be, it depends on the popularity of the set, but usually between 35 and 45% of adoption rate. Novelties, it depends on the quality of the novelties or the theme of the novelties, or whether they are is strong or not, but it can go from 45 to 75%. It's and it's a lot. Like 60% of the people buying a novelty kit, it's a lot. But there's 40% of the people that are not buying it, just going with the base kit or whatever. And what we were seeing is like some vendors couldn't buy extras based on the percentages of those group buys of what we're selling on the group buys. They were, instead of buying a 35% or the same adoption rate for the extension kit, they would buy 50%. And then you end up with leftover kits, for instance. And that happened a lot during pandemic and then post-pandemic. It's important to understand, nowadays is when you see vendors that they have their in-house designer and they do a set, you will see that they are doing 2 or 3 kits at most. A spacebar are not worth it, sorry, but a spacebar kit alone is not worth it, because the vendor ends up with leftover spacebars that they absolutely cannot move. There's little margin. It's a kit that no one then later on buys, or there's very little demand afterwards. So it's better to just bundle the spacebar with the extension kit, because then you can say, okay, people that have ergo keyboards that have a second B and need the extra layout support with the 3 unit spacebars and split the spacebar, they can get that.
I mean,
But
that's one way of like looking at it. The other way is just like, what is the kit that I need to make to support 95% or 92% of individuals?
yeah,
And that is your base kit. That's like the easiest way. And then like,
you have to
if
balance.
you want to keep it simple, you'll add like your extensions kit, which will have XT, some windowed caps, maybe some step bros, bottom row step bros, something like that. Like for people that are going to have, something like this, right?
Yeah. You have to balance. You
that's
have to
basically
balance the price and compatibility, because if you overshoot in how many keycaps you add to the base kit, you're going to.
Of course, unless you're Jono and you're just like, fuck this, I'm buying MOQ myself.
Well,
Everybody's like, we don't want all the novelties. He's like, I'll pay for the novelties.
I will also tell you that some people are very vocal about certain supports in the base kits, and it's going to sound very bad, but in many cases it's wasting plastic.
You're correct. Yeah, the loudest people are not the people that buy the most,
and
we know this.
maybe
40% users.
maybe those keys.
I mean, I think
I didn't say it this time.
Yeah, no.
3 key 40s should be in a base kit, because it's not only for a 40.
No. That's the problem. It's just for a 40%.
I mean, you can throw them on little
I would go
Macropads,
for
you can do some stuff.
six keys or more, because you want to have like the standard stagger on the 40%, and I would rather have a good larger expansion kit that is more with those keys that are more.
Yeah, I see it.
But I understand why. I understand why they are vocal. It works. It's just that I have the numbers, or I have the numbers with my sets, and I know more or less my priority where to place them. I would rather have them on an expansion kit and drive up the number of people that buy an expansion kit, and try to keep as low as possible the main kit, because the higher the MOQ, the better it is, and then you can try to. Then it might not sing a lot, but if you can shave a couple bucks on the base kit for the vendor, it can make a huge difference reaching a higher MOQ. Yep. And maybe you can market even a little bit more aggressively, and it's not $130. Maybe it's $125. Nowadays, even group buys, we're just going to pre-order price, and it's $140. So maybe if you can lower to $130 and you still keep happier everyone.
The amount of times, Zamb, that I look at a key set ad group buy, and I'm like, fuck, I wish this was like $5 cheaper. It's almost there.
Yeah.
I can tell that it's almost there.
Yes.
If it was $5 cheaper, it's not like, oh, my day's going to be happy and I'm going to be smiling. No. Getting it below that target price means more people are going to buy it.
There's also like all the psychology, divine psychology that you can say, but I'm not going into there. But it's more like, $5 is $5. But for someone that buys a key set every 3 months, which it's a very small percentage, but maybe those $5 can mean that, oh, I'm going to buy something extra from the store.
Mhm.
I'm going to buy something that gives them a little bit more margin or whatever. I don't know.
Like, speaking of psychology, I remember back when Carbon Round 2 ran, I was at like Mechanicon and Tomberry was there too. And he was like hypothesizing that, because it was still selling well, but less than expected. And it had, for, I believe, like for at the time, a shit ton of kits. And he was saying like, he thought that maybe because there was just so
Options,
much to pick from, and then people look at the page and they're like, oh yeah, this is nice, these novelties and this alternate alphas and whatever, that like look sick on that, and then they go to
It's
checkout
like
and it's
$250.
$300.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And they're like, oh, fuck that. Whereas if there was just a base kit and like some compatibility stuff, they might have bought it.
I'm also thinking like you have to think about not a vendor that has a very large system or a very large warehouse and a dedicated employee that does fulfilling. I'm thinking more about Oblowski, and Oblowski is just one guy, and I would rather give him a set that is like 3 kits because he's going to have to stock them. And
yeah, I mean, for in-stock stuff, definitely the fewer the kits.
What are they going to? What are they going to do with the third alpha, alternate alpha kit? They can't do anything. It's not going to. They are going to have it in the shelf for years and still not move.
Yeah.
Even very very good base kits right now, they have them in stock for a long time, which is great because now you don't have to go to the second-hand market and get scalped. You can buy a brand new inbox set for a good price and have the buyer support because you're buying it from a business, so you can even return the set 15 days before 15 days in Europe, no questions asked. You have to pay the freight, but you can return the.
Yeah. What was that key set that was beer themed where you got the Stein? That was in stock. I bought that. It was great.
Classicer.
Winkler. It was Winkler.
I don't know.
But I bought that in stock. It was like 140, but like a pretty like decently sized kit, and like I'm okay paying that for what it is. Okay, yeah. I mean, it fits a full size. It fits an Alice. If it's a 6G, it fits everything I could ever want. I'm happy.
Yeah,
why not?
But it's in stock, so
Yeah,
there's also
it changes things.
There's
like
also
if that was a group buy, I would have looked at it and been like, maybe I don't know. I don't want to fucking wait 8 months to like maybe like it.
It's also goes with keepers. Like now that the Tsar is getting out of the limbo, I know how much it costs making it. It's a lot because of where it's made and the materials, and it's a large keyboard. And honestly, it's much better to go in stock with such a large
or
keyboard.
Pre-order.
Oh yeah.
No, it's not pre-order. It's in stock.
So I consider pre-order okay, where like you already know I am making 100 units, and the pre-order is just to tell you what colors are like which ones are going to be which colors. You do it after you've started production.
Pre-order kind of like, I have already bought the material, and the material is sitting in the warehouse. Is just machining and finish.
Yep, or even machining is like partway done. That's what Gian did. I don't know if he still does it for his pre-orders, but basically he'll start production of 600 or 1,000 units, then start the buy.
Yeah,
they're already being produced, so you're going to get them in like 4 weeks max, maybe 5. But that way, everybody gets the color that they want. You don't end up with with extras that you didn't intend to have in weird ass colors. It's a good system. I like that, and I like in stock. Both are amazing.
Group buy is okay, but the thing with group buys are
group
okay.
Buy is fine for small little stuff.
Yes,
so like,
it's okay. But there's also one thing. Group buys, because you're doing a purchase and you're waiting and everything, it is expected that you have lower margins and a better deal.
Yes,
you are investing in that project, and that project can never. It might happen that project never delivers. It doesn't happen with keycaps. So keycaps are more like pre-orders after like there's like good manufacturers and everything. But with keyboards, it might be. I'm sorry, you threw $500 for your. What was it? The Rukia.
Oh man!
And
or you paid $400 for a weave-in round 3. Who the hell was buying a weave-in except for my dumbass?
When is the scam podcast?
2.5. We never
left, baby. We never left.
No, we'll have
there's
you on.
there's
We'll
so
have you on for sure.
no, I don't think you can have it, Matt. But there's so many group buys that went wrong, unfortunately. But yeah, is the risk of the group buy is that you're paying less, but there might not be a keyboard. If you are okay with losing that money, sure.
You're gambling.
Yeah.
You're gambling, and you're. I mean, it's not really gambling. Like
No, it
again,
is. It is. If you know who it is and they have a good track history, your likelihood of getting a keyboard is significantly higher, but it's not 100%.
Oh,
Because like, I could
100%.
run something and God forbid I get hit by a train.
Oh,
I mean,
that's
like,
very very true.
I would be smart enough to like make sure that there are people who can like continue the project, but
Yeah.
people don't think that far ahead. You have a major life event, you lose somebody in the family, or you need to move, or you need to like something massively change. It can happen to anyone, no matter how much experience and how good of a track record they have.
Yeah,
So it is gambling.
Yeah.
How was it? No, it wasn't Keyclag. Yeah, it was J-Chan 64.
Yeah,
Keyclag.
yeah.
J-Chan 94.
94, yeah.
He had.
You just made him 20 years older.
Yeah. He had. Well, life sucked for him. Honestly, what happened family wise? Like he had her mother was terminal. Like he had like a cancer, a brain cancer probably, and her sister also was sick at some point.
Yeah, and there was other stuff. Like he was not having a good time in general. It was a real rough time for him.
Yeah, he had the group buys. Like, let's be honest. There has been vendors that have been really popular and now no longer exist. That starts with R and ends with AMA. That were very very lucky with their first group buy. Because
that was because of J-Chan.
No,
I bought that board.
No. The first proper group buy pre-order was the Rama. No, not the Kara. The Rama.
The M65 was the very first one.
No, that's not run at the Rama store. I mean,
M60
the M60 was the first
at Rama, right?
And they ran they had their issues with J-Chan because the quality was bad. They ran a group buy for the M60, and it sold very well. Very very well, and the group I didn't have issues, like huge issues, so they were very lucky. But J-Chan, for instance, they did the M65, and I have one in here. The machining quality was bad.
Mine was perfect.
The machining quality, if you compare it with nowadays standards, is pretty bad.
Yeah,
it was kind of like, but in hindsight, like the keyboard had issues, the group buy had issues, and later on, he also had like all the family issues compounded with the group buy challenges and him being a solo guy. All of the stuff that he was doing, like the easy DOMs, he did he was probably the first guy that did the electrocapacitive BKE DOMs.
BKE redux that ended up being 95 grams instead of 55, and are still some of the best domes that I no longer own because I sent it to a friend in Romania. But they were such nice domes. The accidental R1 were the best domes.
I remember like they did the GMK Hydro.
I bought that from J-Chan.
I did the renders for J-Chan.
Sold. I mean, I bought extras. I paid $195 for the base kit and the novelties.
Yeah,
it was a lot of money.
It was still my very old GMK models that were not perfect. You can tell, but yeah, it was. I remember that group buy. Like I had to remember now that group buys.
It's funny, like J-Chan and Rama are I think two of the people I DM'd with in the keyboard hobby, like as in like the first people, which goes to show you how small stuff was back then.
Oh, it was, yeah.
I think I made like a random 60% as a concept with a slider next to it, and then I just, because I didn't know shit about keyboards at the time, and I don't know how I got in contact with J-Chan. Maybe he DM'd me, or I was like, oh, that's a vendor. Maybe I should DM him.
I mean, he was pretty active in like main keys and like public places, so like he wasn't difficult to find.
Yeah.
And then someone else, I think a little bit later, ended up DMing me about like working out that slider concept. And we talked with Rama to do the design. So we were like in a Slack together.
Oh.
And then I think, because this is actually a pretty funny story, well, just of like how connected everything was back then. And then someone else ended up actually making the slider, and we joined that Slack. And then in there, I met Garrett from Omnitype. And that's how like our first group buy kind of
and
thing.
we were all in
together.
that Slack, because you were in that Slack, I was in that Slack, Wilbur was in that Slack.
Yeah.
Everyone, like, it was
For the slider, you mean?
No. We were instead
Oh,
of
yeah, there was another-
instead of Discord, we were pretty much like, for
there was
some
like
reason we
a-
were in like a Slack. I think it was
A key chatter one, no?
Key Chatter Slack, probably.
Yeah.
Key Chatter was a blog that Living
Yeah.
Speed Bump used to write for. Living Speed Bump now works for GMK. He has been working for GMK for many years in the US. And he had a blog, or he used to write for that blog. And there was like before Discord, we would be using Slack, which well, Slack is certainly a software.
Of all time, for sure.
All the software of all time.
We sometimes we talk how much keyboard knowledge has been lost because of Discord.
I mean, we just lost this authority.
Yeah,
That's painful.
yeah, that's painful. But yeah, the guy does. Yeah, the story is. I think like didn't someone actually?
Oh, yeah, someone
back up-
actually archived everything.
Oh no, there is, and
There-
I'm asking to get a copy as well, so like I can keep a backup on because like I have a storage array, just so like we have a backup of the backup.
Yeah, just do a torrent basically.
That's a good call, actually. I should do that.
Yeah, so because the thing with the story is like contributors were, oh my god, it was such a good database of all keyboards, of old keyboards, very old keyboards. Haata posted a lot of shit in there.
Yep.
Haata, Haata, I think he was Canadian. He moved to the US because it was easier for him to buy keyboards from. Maybe he was from Vancouver and just moved to Seattle or something like that. And he has an impressive collection of old Topre keyboards. Like, yeah, if you find a photo of a weird Topre keyboard, or any old keyboard, the chances are that it was Haata. Who was the other one?
I mean, photekq goes way back as well, or photekq, sorry.
photekq, yeah. No.
Who else goes? Shark goes very far back as well.
I have it in the tip of my tongue. Like, there was another guy that he had like a Google gallery or something, and he has every keyboard had like every keyboard he took a picture with the kind of like the serial number, and he would give them. In Europe, we had Wodan. Wodan had a lot of vintage cherry keyboards, but
What is he up to these days? Is he still in the hobby, or
I have not seen or heard
Wodan
of him in years.
He's sometimes like once in if you are in good luck,
Blue Moon? Yeah.
he will do like a recycling stream out of nowhere, no message or anything, and he will go through a pile of old keyboards that he finds at his recycling center. I have been at Wodan's house. Actually, like he did something that is very cool. He did like a micro meetup, and it turned out that who was in there? Kingnesty was in there. Oblowski was in there.
Wasn't Mito there? Because didn't you guys do like a Top Clack episode from there? I remember that. Yeah.
Maybe.
Or was it not that one? I think so.
Maybe. Mito was there. I was there. I literally. I do not regret doing this. I took a flight like on a Friday, and I took my flight back on the Saturday. It was like I was there at his home in Germany like 12 hours or 13 hours, but it was one of the most formative experiences in my keyboard life, we could say, because in a very short amount of time I met with so many people. Oh, the heavy metal keyboard was in there. There was another guy. Tomberry was there. There was another guy that was very sweet, and he gave me a lift to the airport later on when I had to come back. It was very, very cool meetup. Very small meetup. Kingnesty had a lot of Chinese custom keyboards, which was like
that's how I got all my like prototypes from.
He had all the
that
Matrix.
Eve made typically,
He had all the Matrix keyboards. He had a Mira.
Yeah.
which is
Yeah, I remember I got like that's the thing I regret selling the most by far. I got a Moon TKL from him.
that's your problem. You sell
Uh,
stuff.
I
Yeah,
remember your moon,
yeah. Do you remember
It's
the
great.
issue with it?
right?
Yeah. It was
But-
green
Well,
bottom,
it was
silver
supposed to
top.
be green, right? And the green was rubbing off or something.
No, I mean that's something that a lot of Eve boards had. I'm not sure which finish it actually was, but you could write on it with like your
I know,
fingernail, and if you rubbed over it, is that micro arc?
micro
Or what was
micro
that?
arc oxidization.
I mean, if it was MAO, then yeah.
Yeah, but yeah. Anyway, on the Moon, like a screw got loose during shipping and just scratched the fuck out of it.
Oh,
Really sucked. Especially, like, 'cause it was like nobody's fault, and I bought it from a friend, so you can't really just PayPal chargeback him or whatever. Not that I would have,
what you can
if
do
it-
is go
if
to
it
his house and
wasn't-
fucking smack him and be like, "You do it."
Yeah.
Can't believe you
But
done
yeah,
this.
still, it was still an amazing board, and the tolerances on it were like ridiculous.
The moon
Like
was
between
very
the two,
nice for its time.
yeah, between the two pieces. And but yeah, I just never really ended up using it because I really like 60%, I guess. And then I sold it, and I got it recoded for the guy, and then the coding also got fucked up, and it didn't fit together properly anymore, or whatever. So it just became like this complete bastard child of what it
I
could
think
have been.
every single person that like owned a Moon keyboard, it was cursed in some way. Like the
Yeah.
story of it was
Oh,
cursed
and
in some way.
The PCB, I believe, was also terrible. I think it like instantly broke because it was
Oh.
boot mapper. I
Jay
think.
from
So the-
Prototypist had a Moon TKL, and he was talking about, here is my Moon TKL. I'm going to try to revive it, and the PCB is dead. So I think he managed to. He posted like kind of like Instagram stories like 5 days ago or so about it. So
Really?
yeah,
Huh.
and so I remember
But yeah, it
the
was a
keyboard.
standard chain.
Detective time. Now we're
Oof.
gonna check the IG stories.
No, it has been like a couple of days. You can probably ask him. He was rebuilding that Moon TKL keyboard. But yeah, I even remember the ICN said, "Oh, this is not for me." Not, but yeah, so many good keyboards. Like,
Yeah. Because back in those days, at least, like Eve, with all his or whatever issues, because there was a whole thing with him like selling prototypes under the table and stuff, right?
yeah,
But he did do quite good work. Because also like the Kira TKL I have, also tolerances, amazing finish, amazing. Like matching between two parts was really on. Although I think the Mira had issues, don't remember. But
the Mira. Well, the Mira was like a death project, and then Doctor something saved the day. Like there has been so many keyboard projects that have been saved by folks that spend a lot of time fixing them. Like
There it is.
Hyperfuse.
Oh, there.
yeah.
Yep. That's Jay's.
Oh God, Hyperfuse. I wish you were here on the Cobra episode. They explained to me, Zambu, what happened with Hyperfuse R1.
Oh, did
and R2
they
and-
explain you that
Jesus.
Hyperfuse
Nothing
R1
went wrong. Nothing went wrong.
nothing
Don't
was
worry.
wrong. Yeah, it's not like
Everything was
GMK
fine. What do you
didn't
mean?
have their shit together. It was like they tried to save some bugs by not having the keycaps sorted by GMK. So they sent like bugs of keycaps, and then they ended up going from house to house in the US. And Nerdly, who was a guy very active in that time of keyboards, had to sort things himself for no money, just for the sake of I'm going to save this. And yeah, there have been people that are still to this day. Wilbur is one of them that would go once a year saying, "I hope I can get my Hyperfuse keyset."
Does he have the
Yeah.
F7?
Was it
Oh.
F8 or F7?
No, it was
F7.
the
Yeah.
F8.
Right.
Oh, wait, was it the F8? Oh, my bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, one second.
The
I thought
F7
it was
was
the F7.
somewhat okay.
There we go. There it is.
He has it.
It's real. The key exists.
Yeah. Well, at one point, Wilbur tried to run the keyset, and it was like we got a little bit in trouble because no, it's a kind of originative and
Yeah.
and whatever. And yeah, it was a weird situation because who is in charge of this keyset and why I cannot get
Yeah.
my keyset in any way, and why are they rerunning the keyset with other vendor but I cannot, they were like paying customers of that group and somehow if you were to buy it from a different vendor and a different brand, you could get the keyset, but not if you. It was kind of like it was a tricky situation. But yeah, such is the nature of group buys, I guess, especially in those days. Things. So many memories of failed group buys.
And so many more to come.
And more to
I know
come,
you won't be.
exactly.
Yeah. It's August 17th. I know August is kind of full for you, but we can talk more about scams besides August 17th.
I might be.
Wait, is August 17th our
scam
day?
episode?
Is it a scam
Gondo,
episode?
Gondo requested it. Yep.
Wait. Let me check our calendar.
All right.
I will do my best. I will do my best to see if I can go, because I have not been a part of. Luckily, I have not been a part of many of the scams, but I have been kind of like watching on the sidelines, like when it was this guy that was in Ukraine making a keyboard, and it was like very cheap, and it was like, this is not going to happen, and of course it didn't happen. There's the Teslas from making a keyboard out of. Oh my god, so many memories and so many group buys and so many failed.
Wait, what was that? That was like some kind of ceramic or something, no?
Some weird composite stuff.
For like a little bit.
You know, in that episode, we will probably know the name of that material, because I know. Yeah, it was kind of like a countertop material, isn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, it has happened many times that a group buy is done wrong, not because shit happens, but because there were no good thoughts or structure when making a group buy. Yeah, sometimes it's easier to keep things easy, to keep things clean and easy, and a small group buy, and just make 50 units and call it a day, and you will be a hero.
Simon, where are we now? Are we GKFing?
Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry, guys. I'm lactose intolerant, and I had milk last night and this morning, so that's why I've been disappearing every now and then to relieve myself.
Oh, don't feel bad. My father-in-law was making a pot of coffee, and I just smelled the coffee, and then immediately my stomach started churning. I'm like, see ya.
Did you ask Janglad about his nomination?
No, that's actually
we didn't start at all.
We'll go first, but Janglad, take an opportunity to think of a good keyboard friend. If you're listening to this podcast or watching this podcast, you can go to hugemeatbox.com/nominate or hugemeatbox.com/nominee. It's a safe site. Huge Meatbox is just a link tree for this podcast. And there's a Google form with just three fields. You put in who you are, who you're nominating, and why you're nominating them as a good keyboard friend. That's all you got to do. Hubert, do we have a community submitted one this week?
We do have one.
Oh,
it's anonymous, and they are nominating Ferg.
Excuse me, anonymous. Oh, I didn't realize that was an option.
Me neither. But they nominated Ferg, and they say that. I don't even know I have no idea what this means, but I'm just going to read it. Shart XT very swag. He is also a big weeb like Simon. Whoever that is. Congratulations on being a good keyboard friend. Does anybody know who that person is?
Well, I didn't know who Chicken Man was, and now I know who he is.
Hey, yeah. But that's the thing. Like, it doesn't have to be something... Ferg, yeah. It doesn't have to be something life-changing.
The name rings.
We don't need to know who they are. It's all about you just shouting out somebody that's made a difference in your keyboard life or in your real life, or just a good friend or somebody you haven't checked up on in a long time. It's always good to make sure everyone's still doing okay. We've a lot of people have left the hobby. Like Janglad had basically left the hobby, but he's still around. Everyone's still around as long as there's a good reason to come back and have a good time.
It's not leaving the hobby. It's stealth mode. It's
incognito.
Incognito mode. Incognito. Yeah.
We all lurk in the shadows, and
I need to stop lurking. We all need to stop lurking. Zamb, you need to get your projects going. Seb, you've been nailing it. No notes. Hey. I need to get my shit together.
If someone does, they're not going to see it, but you can. I have posted something in a very while in a public forum, and I posted it in C Frontier in Chinese.
Based. I mean, my first ever IC was on KBD Lab in Korean. So
yeah, but
Nice.
nowadays you have good translation. Like at the time.
Oh no, I just had a Korean guy write it.
Okay, that's good translation.
Can we put it for next week's ICGB stream? Should I submit it for the stream submissions?
If you can find it.
I sent him the file, the link.
Awesome.
Janglad,
Nice.
do you have someone or multiple people that you want to shout out, you want to say thanks to for being good keyboard friends or just friends in general?
I have like 3 in mind, actually. First of all, first one is pretty obvious because I actually met my girlfriend at a keyboard meetup.
Based.
So, well, yeah, there you go.
Get married. Make it 2 for 2. Make it 2 for 2.
We got approved, well, like our submission or whatever, approved for our apartment yesterday. So, gonna be living together and everything. Yeah, really nice. So that one. Then also, me and my girlfriend went to Riga in Latvia recently. And Emil's, if you know him, Thunderburger from like DMO50 and whatever, lives there. And we hung out with him a bunch. It was a great time. I remember like we met up for like drinks somewhere. And then I think either we're going to close or like at least like some friends of his were having a house party. So like out of nowhere, he just gets like these random 2-liter water bottles, goes to the bar and it's like, hey, can you also just fill this? So then I'm walking there with him, with like, I don't know, when she got like 10 liters of beer or something just in plastic water bottles. Went to like random house parties of his friends and stuff. It was a really, really good time. And then last one, Garrett from Omnitype. Like with me being like out of group buys and stuff, like I haven't been in touch for like a couple of years or whatever, but still over the years we chatted a shit ton and we made some cool projects together and stuff. And he's definitely is still going. Like Bauer Light, from all I understand, is doing pretty damn well. And
that's good.
He's doing stuff in the Toper space now and stuff too, I see. So yeah, definitely he would count as a good keyboard friend as well. Yeah.
Awesome. We're having both on. I've been talking to Emil's for a long time.
Nice. Yeah, he's a real nice guy.
Yeah, he's so nice.
Yeah, he's fantastic, and I love his designs. They're so cute. They're very reminiscent of Janglad designs, like vibes wise. They're smaller boards, but like you guys like playing with the curves. You like for
it's the European style. Sorry.
I don't know. Like I opened up my DMs with Janglad and scrolled all the way up, which took about 4 minutes of it going full speed, and like very like
the European side profile. This is the European side profile.
There exactly that
there
one.
You are.
That's 2018. Oh baby, and I'm pretty sure if we go back to like 2017, there's
Wow.
oh yeah.
I oh my god, I have remembered the first picture that
oh my god, yeah, my KBD 75.
Yes.
Oh, I remember something.
Yes.
The guy that made cables, 99 something.
Yeah.
The first picture.
Wait, was he the gum blanket guy?
No. Please don't mix the crocker guy. Oh my god.
Okay.
that guy, the rose cables guy, he has
Kermit cables. Come on.
He deserves a full episode. Yeah. There's like a 17 pages document about him that was written by a girl that had a crocodile as a pet. So that's that yeah,
wild story, man.
Yeah, that's a wild story. Him and the guy that fixed his keyboard with a magic river. That you can ask AAO3 about that one. That was psychedelic. No, I remember that when you show those pictures of Janglad, the first kind of like custom keyboard that I saw was there was a guy that is 99 or something, 99X9, something like that, and he used to make custom cables, and he had like a custom cable he had a custom keyboard that was a low profile, dark gray. I still have that picture on my computer somewhere with SA deep something.
Like calm depths? Or
calm depths, exactly.
Yeah.
And it was
that shit was.
It was that perfect picture that was like, I want this in my keyboard. And
Yeah.
He's probably responsible for many people going down the rabbit hole, and then
Was that then maybe the cable guy that also ended up doing like dice up stuff himself?
no,
Because there was also,
No.
there was also one that did that.
no.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember like when Janglad said, Garrett. My last message with Garrett was, "Oh, in this listing for the screws for the Bauer light, it says T10 and T6, and it should be around." And I sent him like, "Oh, someone catch this that the countersunk are T10 and the countersunk are T6 and the socket head screws are T6. No, or the other way around. I don't remember."
A kind of similar thing, but like an anecdote, I guess, of like how much I stared at keyboard related stuff back in the day. Was like one time, I think he just, probably when he rebranded or something, he changed his profile picture to the Omnitype logo. And I remember just looking at it, I was like, wait a minute, like, this is not right. And I got like my digital color meter thing, and it was off by 3 RGB values. But because I looked at that color so much, I think just in like renders or product pages or stuff like that, that just immediately jumped out at me.
I think I'm not. How do I share? I'm going to, if I share screen.
Yeah, there's a
Oh,
share
key
button.
talk.
Do you guys know of his rap, by the way?
Yeah,
Yeah. I remember
That.
that. Oh, that,
Oh,
yes.
that one.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
That's cool.
That was such a good set.
That.
Oh, right. And I was like, what was that? Road 233?
Yeah.
Or was that flat road 3? Yeah, it's no, right? Oh, and it says there, yeah, it's one. I forgot we used to do that.
2, 3, 3. It was a weird side profile, but this picture.
Yeah. But that's a different one.
Yeah, exactly. That picture was like, oh my god, I want that, or I never ended up buying com devs, ironically, but yeah.
That was Jay's first set. I remember I thought he said calm depths, like communist and like some other word. I didn't know he said calm depths because I
Comdevs.
couldn't understand the.
It's not. They did a rerun in GMK. It doesn't translate well because
Oh, is it?
the texture and shine that they say has, it's very, very important for that set. If you see it in
They're also. Yeah. Good. No, go ahead. Good.
no, it's just like if you see the set in person, the shine that SA has is very, very important, and that's not something that you get with GMK. And you would argue, oh, you can shine GMK. It's also this spherical profile that SA is, that it's very, very. It brings me a lot of memories, that picture.
Yeah, right. Because now I was thinking as well, there was like one set also with maybe even that same blue color, but it had, I think, yellow on blue legends. It never reran, but it was around that time. It was military themed, also SA, but I can't.
It was King
trying to think of
SC
the name.
probably.
No, it wasn't Commando, or at least wasn't his. Because I know he did one too, but yeah, I have no idea how I would even look for this. I mean, I'm sure there's like a list of everything, all the key sets, but
Yeah, it's just
Was it Matrix thing?
But yeah, it wasn't Commando 23. I think it was
Remember the
Aviation,
year?
like Air Force or something.
There was like a set that was yellow legends on a dark gray thing. It was military based on Chinese military, I think, right? Isn't that?
Possibly, yeah.
So it might be SA. I'm going to just.
What do you say the colors were again?
Definitely had yellow in it. I think it was gray mods, like a light-ish, warmish gray, and then blue alphas, red accent colors, and then I think for everything yellow legends, but I might be
But you're
wrong.
talking about SA or?
Yeah, definitely SA, and it was also around that time, but just never reran. But Danger Zone. I
Oh.
think that was it.
Danger Zone.
Yeah.
Ooh,
I love Kenny
And
Loggins.
I guess it did end up being rerun on drop. But I remember at the time that one was also super expensive.
Yes. You would
Yeah,
you could end up. Did I do
that's like Top Gun inspired.
Did I do renders for this? No,
so,
I
yeah.
don't think I did renders for this. There was a time like I think Oblowski, Janglad, and myself were doing just renders for mass drop, back when it was mass drop, and it was cool because you had the price drops. If you go to Danger Zone round to whatever, you will see that for each MOQ that you would reach, you would have a drop in price.
It's almost like when the mass of people bought it, the price would drop. And that was the whole point of the website.
Yeah. They had like a custom checkout system that actually worked.
And then they removed everything and went with fucking Shopify.
Yeah,
What is
and
wrong with
they
you?
just went with Shopify. And
But I remember when people used to run group buys like that on a Shopify web store where you like paid up front, like Garrett, he had to manually refund everyone that bought, for example, 9009. Not only manually refund, but calculate like the amount you had to refund, right?
Yeah, and you have to like, you could do like a payment authorization, but if you do that, you have like a certain amount of time that it was.
But that's something that's configurable. Your auth 2 capture can be like as long as 14 days with like stuff like Stripe or whatever payment gateway you're using.
But mass drop used to have this system that you would have a price drop, and it made it very, very compelling to run things at mass drop despite not having like, well, it was a different time. There were no European vendors. There were no Australian vendors. There were no Japanese vendors. It was just a thing that was taking off in the United States. And in China, they would use a proxy, which was Sea Frontier back then or whatever. But yeah, having a checkout system that they would just get you the current orders and would have a price drop was quite amazing, especially because we were dealing with lower MOQs. And it wasn't guaranteed, and some sets didn't hit the MOQ, and fuck it, we are not running this set because we haven't hit the MOQ. It happened. But they had like a competitive edge, and they threw that competitive edge out of everything. It was how can you compete with a store that actually has an automatic system that when you hit a certain quantity, and it brings a sense of community.
Just their reach was definitely way bigger as well, because like they sold audio products and like they appeared as they sponsored YouTube channels and stuff. Because I remember for a long time they were like the only ones to break like 1,000 base kits on a set. That took a while for like a community vendor to do that.
It was, I think, Nautilus was the first that reached 2,000 units, and then immediately after or immediately before it was Pulse or something like that.
Yeah, and during like 2020, I remember the record like instantly going. I mean, I think Modo had it briefly, and then Olivia plus, and then GMK Dots too, and stuff like that. It was like every month just ended up.
Striker sold 10,000 units.
Yeah.
Holy shit! I didn't know that. That's
Jesus.
crazy.
And I haven't been paid by some vendors for Striker.
Really?
Oh no.
Fuck me.
Who would have guessed?
Well, group buy was 5,000 or 6,000. But
yeah, the amount of extras began was crazy.
Yeah, the good thing is that because it was just 3 kits, you can, Dots. I think I don't know how much they sold.
It had it public. I don't remember either, but it was a crazy amount.
It was
too,
9,000 or 10,000. No,
God.
Yeah, and at some point it's just how the only way that you can offer $100 base kit, and it was like very complete.
Yep, I had that $99 set of Nautilus, and I still own it.
No, Nautilus didn't sell that much.
I was $99.
It was
still
99.
Great.
Yeah,
and it was big fucking kit.
And
like that was one of the biggest kits at the time.
We fine-tuned that. It was back and forth with Jambo from Masrup, and we were talking like $100, Jambo, $100, and he was like,
"Yep,
if we reach $100, it's going to be good." And I was like, if we reach $100, it's kind of like, why am I not getting this set? And people got this set.
Exactly. I don't like dark sets. I don't use dark sets. I bought it. It was $99.
It was $99.
For a big base kit, you buy that.
You buy that.
You buy it.
But yeah, so I think like obviously nowadays, I have been here when a set has sold 200 units or 250, like Chocolatier, and when it has sold a lot,
Wait, chocolatier was only 200 units?
250. Do you?
We're talking SA chocolatier, right?
No, GMK
okay.
chocolatier.
Okay.
And I have like 10 in here.
Okay. I think I still have my set of SA chocolatier.
Well, I have. I'm not going to lie. In here, behind this wall, there's a happy place full of keycap sets.
Oh, beautiful.
I have. Yeah, because something I would do, and I don't recommend any designer doing it, is like I would commit to a group to MOQ, and I would say, fuck it, I'm going to finance if I need to commit to that MOQ. And I would say, we're going to reach 150 MOQ for the 40s kit for Serika. And if vendors didn't buy it, I bought like I have 50
Wow.
kits in here. No, not 50, but maybe 40 kits in here for 40s. And I have hundreds of kits of base kits in here.
Oh, you still have a whole bunch of Serika?
Yeah.
Do you have
250
like the
units.
normal non-weeb one?
Yeah.
Oh.
Are you planning on like selling them
should
if
sell
you have
some
that
of them,
many
like,
base kits?
It's still in stock in some vendors though.
Okay, yeah.
So
You'd have to wait for them to like.
no,
empty
I
out
have
their-
not signed anything with anyone
Oh
about
no,
that.
no. I'm
yeah.
not saying contractually. I'm saying just like out of decency.
But in my stash there is stuff up to GMK Lux. There's GMK Lux, extras of GMK Sandstorm, extras of GMK Chocolatier, extras of GMK Nautilus, the first
Did
one.
you just say GMK Sandstorm?
Extras of I didn't have extras of Nautilus Nightmares because that was drop. GMK Hamon 1 and GMK Hamon 2, there's extras of everything sitting there.
All right, let's go to Zamb's house. I'll bring some money.
What do you mean bring some money? No, we just all show up to Zamb's house. We don't need the. I'll bring an alligator.
I know that this is this is complicated, but my dream is always like, I wish I could have a store and sell everything myself, and use everything designed by myself, like the keyboards designed by myself and the keycaps are designed by myself, because I think that it's the way to go if you have. I know that Janglad tried it with Coda, and the problem is that depends on the volume, depends on where you live, your cost of living, depends on the volume that you are going to accept selling, and what you are selling, and how much time you can dedicate to it, and how much.
It depends how fucked you're willing to get generally, because like there's projects where you're gonna look at it and be like, I want to take a margin from this, but like for a year of work, I'm maybe gonna take home like $5,000, and you're like, I think that's all I can reasonably take, because if I take any more than that,
yeah, it's okay, but yeah, it's something that could bring me a lot of pride, saying, oh, this keyboard is fully designed by myself, everything that you can get. It's weird, but it's much better than. It brings a sense of pride that you cannot get otherwise. So this is also why I want to make my own keycaps, because it's not only just the typeface. It's not only it's also the shape of the keycaps that is for myself or by myself. That's the. If you can do everything, it's kind of like, okay, there's nothing more. But
well, we got to do switches, and if we're gonna do switches,
I have been. I reverse engineer the full Cherry MX, which, by the way, I know that at some point you guys want to do a design thing. The two things that you need to design a keyboard is camera, calipers. It's three things actually, and a notebook, and a piece of paper and pencil, and patience, and reading that. If you're making PCBs, reading data sheets. If you're making keyboards, reading data sheets as well, because you need to understand how the measurements of a keycap and a key switch. Don't trust free models. Measure yourself with a cheap €25 caliper, or if you're based, you get a Mitutoyo caliper for life from Japan.
From Japan, that's the move.
Yeah, because they are cheap and they have shitloads of Mitutoyo.
If anybody is going to do a Japan shopping trip for calipers, by the way, I very strongly recommend you get the
Oh,
The Hosen PP
Oh,
132. There's many PPs, but I like 132 because it's got a nice curve on it.
Man, I have everything.
These are fantastic. These are super, super nice tweezers, and they're like $4 in Japan.
yeah.
Like, get some. Hosen, Hozin.
Well, I have to nominate a keyboard friend this time. I was going to say, you said switches. Yes, I have reverse engineered like MX switches. I had like a talk with Eric a long time about, why aren't we self-containing the electrocapacitive switch? They ended up doing it, so no need for me to design them right now.
Well, I mean, there's been a design out, but like from
Get
there,
off.
you need iteration development for it to,
Yeah,
become a thing.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure they're very, very cool, but I am also very, very sure that they could be significantly better when developed over time.
Yes,
So.
I want to. I have asked them for models, so I don't have to spend a day measuring, but I can spend a day or two measuring and reverse engineer absolutely everything. I have 3D scanners, I have photos, and I have calipers. You don't need more. Like I'm already over. It's already over. I'm over equipped in terms of what I need to reverse engineer whatever it's in here to
Okay, Zamb, we
give them
have
feedback.
6 minutes and 45 seconds for all of us to do good keyboard friends. Because if we go over 3 hours, we're going to get canceled.
AE boards, Eric.
Yes. Eric is fucking fantastic. Very good choice. Thank you.
Go ahead, Sip.
It's hard because I don't want to spoil all the list now.
That's all right. Yeah, you can save some for next week. We have you on at the same
like, it's
time
fine.
next week.
Like I've got some in my head, but I'm not. Today's not the day.
Okay, I mean, if that's okay, I'll just not say anyone and just dump everyone in the next week episode.
Just say Gondo.
Wow.
Yeah, but just dropping Gondo like that.
Any random Italian guy that's from the Italian community.
I'm not part of the Italian community at all. I'm not
You're
even
like
joking.
me. You're like me in the Spanish community. There's like
Yeah.
I'm disconnected because of when
I
we
don't know why
start.
you're so
yeah.
disconnected, dude.
Yeah.
Because like I know so many people like in Spain. I'm like, have you guys seen Zamb? They're just like, nope.
Nope. I don't leave my home. I actually like
Same.
Yuri said, "Hey, are you going to this meetup?" I'm like, all the money
No.
that I'm saving, that I'm using this money for trips, is to go see the girlfriend.
Fair enough.
And he said, "Fair enough."
We can't say anything.
But I have indirectly touched Yuri because I sent him switches for him to loop, and he loved them.
Nice.
And I sent him a lot of switches.
All right. Well, I don't know. I don't know if this will be one episode or if I'll split it into 2 parts. But regardless,
Sorry.
I love this conversation. Hey, the great thing about being our own bosses is we can do whatever the fuck we want to do. So don't even worry about it, because this conversation is very enlightening and I love it. But yeah, on behalf of me, Simon, James, and Tangus, thank you, Sip and Zamb, for being guest co-hosts. And thank you so much, Janglad, for being our guest today.
You need to come back. You have to understand, this is a recurring stream. So like the first
Sounds
stream,
good.
we're going to ask you all the stupid questions. How did you get into keyboards? What keyboards do you like? Eventually it'll be, let's talk about,
Drinking stories or stuff.
drinking stories and Gondo's milfs
Yeah.
and all the stories we've been meaning to get to. That's what it's all about.
Sounds good. I was saying before the podcast, but like the mic I'm using right now, I bought it like 6 years ago or 7 years ago to do, because I was invited on Max on Deck to do a podcast. And that's the last time I've used it. So if I get invited more, finally this microphone will actually get some use.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, the audience, for listening and watching. And continue being good keyboard friends. Talk to you later. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.